Like she'll make Muslim jokes like about herself and like how black people roast each other or roast themselves and shit.
I mean, that's every group of people do that. You see homosexuals do it too. They call themselves F word, and they make.
So how you feel about
Yeah.
that?
What's the problem with us calling them that then?
Oh my
Okay,
god.
relax.
This is why we don't invite coons on, man. This is what
We
we get,
can't.
man.
Oh yeah, no questions on the
Hold
podcast. I forgot.
on. Stop that right there. Hold on. But did you just say this is why we don't invite coons? We have a revolving door of coons.
Yeah,
I
I would consider Marcel, Epic, all of them.
How am I a coon? You
Okay,
the biggest coon out of
Marcel is definitely a coon, but not in this regard, man. Like you a coon, Marcel.
What? There's
You know
different type of coons now.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. How am I?
Hold on. Do you go to an ice cream shop and be like, I want the one flavor that's that? There's all types of coons. There's
Coons
vanilla,
or ice cream? Oh, okay, I see you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
There's tons of different flavors, man. Of course.
I want my
You go to the
racism
ice-
chocolate.
How am I a coon, Mo? Explain.
Oh, hold on. I feel like you're missing the point. I said you're coon vanilla. He coon chocolate. There's a difference, man.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
cool.
You know what I mean?
That's
Two completely
hella
different flavors.
racist.
Okay.
But you know, I mess with it because it's entertaining.
I know you do, man.
Just don't call me a Pepe though.
Oh,
my
damn!
God.
Don't call my hunkler.
Don't call him a hunkler, man.
Hunkler just don't even sound right.
Oh, you hunkler? I'm like, okay, nigga.
That's how it works, man. Niggas don't want to be called hunklers out here, though. So you got to address them the proper way. All right, I think we are live right now. So we got to talk about Burger King's ad, all of that shit. But hold up, Mo. Let me post this shit in the Discord so niggas know what's popping. All right, quick. I posted the wrong link. I posted the live dashboard. Hold up.
Oh damn.
Hope our viewership is doing good.
Fuck up.
I'm having a good day, nigga.
You kind of sound fucked up here a little bit.
What you mean?
It's like coming in now. Maybe my connect. Hold up.
That's Mo's pet owl. Cause all British niggas
got an owl.
Why do these UK stereo? You know, I get all my stereotypes from about Mo from fucking Harry Potter, bro. Like I always think of Harry Potter. Pick one random thing from that and just apply it to
That's not racist at all. I mean, that ain't what is it called? I don't know what the fuck. What's the proper term? Stereotypical? I don't know. I don't care. Fuck all.
Why does Harry Potter just immediately make me think of like British people? It's so stupid.
Because you uneducated twat.
Whoa.
Why do Americans say that wrong every time?
What? Yeah, it's pronounced thought.
What?
Am I right or am I right?
Yeah, it's not twat. It's twat. It's like a bat. You know what I mean? But TW.
Twat sound better.
That does not sound bad. That sounds trash.
Twat?
But you trash. It sound better. What the fuck you mean, dog?
Bush said I said something incorrectly. I prefer the sound of it, so I'm gonna say it like this idiot way every single time.
Exactly.
Crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. UK niggas have better American accents than Americans do. I cannot.
I'm using my American accent for the viewership, man.
You've been saying Captain America can say nigga, so I don't really go off your word, though.
Oh, I said. Let me tell you exactly what I said. If he saves me,
you missed some big one, man. Behind the scenes, Marcel, he calls him Clapton America.
Oh no! If he saves me from a Thanos punch, and he's like, "You good, my nigga?" and I'm like, "Yeah," and he runs away, then I'm
Yeah, I was about to say, I'll agree with Marcel. Captain America call me nigga.
So, like, I hope you know this goes without saying. Like, every podcast we record moving forward, me endgame spoilers are go. We saying shit, nigga. Like, I'm gonna just put that out there. Like, we saying shit.
Yeah. So, No, I'm not doing that shit. What the fuck? What kind of money?
I am. Like, what are we talking about? The movie been out for 2 weeks. This shit made $1.2 billion within the first weekend. One of you niggas had to pay for this shit. If
we
you did
had
it, you
some
watched that
we
footage.
had some fire ass bootlegs. That last bootleg was fire. I was like, God damn, this shit damn near DVD
Hold up.
quality.
What do you mean we had some bootlegs? You mean bootlegs may have been secretly distributed and found on the server by a complete accident? I mean, we weren't associated with that.
Yeah, I didn't record it myself. Like, you know,
off the top, entertainment never would do such a foul thing.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. When Infinity War first came out, I bought a 60 gigabyte micro SD card, had my phone in my lap, and I recorded the whole movie.
okay.
Why would you admit to that?
Ayo. Let's move out of this. I don't like how this chat sounds specifically. Let's move to I'm gonna call y'all. I don't like how this sound.
What are you gonna call us? You gonna call you sexy, Marcel? How I feel, man?
Marcel like it.
We got the goon in here.
Look, all I'm saying is that if you've never bootlegged a movie before, then you're not living life.
This nigga Bush said, "I'm gonna call you in this chat. You're not in, Mo."
Yeah.
He said, "I'm gonna call you guys." I'm like, okay. Hold up, wait. Yo, you niggas can't see this chat, but there's Avengers undies in this bitch. Niggas been
No, we see it. That's Epic's.
Those epic underwear though.
Hold
He
on,
hate the movie, but he bought it.
No, I know what you're talking about. We recorded the podcast and he talked about the fact that he had these undies, and I'm like, you could not be talking shit about the Avengers when they're clenching your butt cheeks, man. You can't do that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Against the rules, man.
That's epic, man. That's the epic we know and love, man.
Yeah, he said I'm reclaiming the Avengers, man. I'm claiming this shit. And every time I sit down, I'm a roaster, man. It's crazy.
You clench. Iron Man is clenching your butt cheek.
This nigga says fuck Tony, and I'm like, really, man? This nigga up in your groin right now. You say fuck Tony. That's what's happening right now. Like,
he disrespecting my nigga Tony, man.
Like I'm like Tony more has a more intimate connection than anybody else with you right now, man. That nigga on your body. That shit crazy, bro.
Now there isn't anyone in the chat right now, so this may have been a bad time. Let me see.
Let me pull up.
Let me pull up.
Bro, let me pull out. Give me a sec.
Pull up. I never pull out.
It's the playoffs.
Oh my God. That shit's still going on? The playoffs?
It's only one game tonight, though.
Oh, so fuck.
You know these cooling ass niggas are part of the boycott, Bush?
Pull out.
Bro, where my pick at?
Wait, who boycotting?
Boycott, man. Against black people, man. I gotta do it. I'm raising my fist against them.
What? Against the man? Okay, I fuck with it.
The NBA is the man now?
The NBA been the man, Morgan. You just too stupid to realize that, man.
You know what? I don't even
these woke black people again.
I don't even play 2K. I ain't gonna put my black fist down until I get 2K to be a decent game, man. That's what I'm gonna need.
It's like anything where black people got white masters. It's always the same.
It's not the same, Morgan.
That's all y'all talk about, man. The NFL, they got slave masters. NBA.
We don't call them masters, we call them managers.
Like, jeez.
All right, dog. Let me check my levels. I think my levels. My nigga levels. I think my levels are fine. All right, let's get this show on the road, guys. Hello, everybody. Let me take.
Went on the road before.
No.
I thought we were time.
We were recording the whole time. We just weren't into the groove. You know what I'm saying?
Always in the groove, Bush.
We were just arching our backs, man. Exactly. Whatever the fuck.
I go like, hold a posture check. Everybody straighten your back. Make sure that you ain't slouching, nigga. This shit about to get crazy, man.
Exactly, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get right into the show. So this is Off the Top Podcast, the epicenter of pop culture. Of course, I'm your host, Bushido Spirit. Here we have Mo.
I hope everyone's doing okay.
All right, and we have Marcel, Pretty Nigga Supreme.
Epic is the most hating nigga I've ever met.
All right, and we got Morgan, Smooth Brain.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah.
But it's not a fact, though.
This nigga said we're getting in the groove, but this nigga's brain ain't going any. That's it, crazy.
What up, one above all? And we got the contrarian Morgan in here. And Morgan represents the chat, by the way. He represents the chat. So whatever dumb shit he says in this podcast, he represents the chat, man. Whatever dumb shit he says in the podcast.
Contrarian nigga is the difference.
Yeah, I carry
the chat. He said a contrarian.
This nigga clearly a contrarian.
I remember somebody said, just because I go against you, you could be wrong. It's possible,
I mean, it's possible.
Hold on. You're saying it's possible for me to be incorrect?
Yes, sir. Or ma'am. I don't want to assume your gender.
You don't want to assume my genitalia. Okay. That's crazy, man.
I ain't say all that. Let's relax.
We're already off to an epic start. Let me give you the rundown of what's happening today. So, Burger King is out there. They released this new campaign that talks about people's emotions. No longer are the Happy Meals called the Happy Meals. They got a couple different names for them, like the Sadness Meal. the I don't give a fuck meal, the pissing meal. I don't know what the fuck it is. They got several different names, and each different type of meal represents an emotion that people have. You know what I'm saying? So they doing that new ad campaign. We're gonna watch that. We may talk about Taylor Swift and Beyonce, but we don't really fuck with stuff like that. But it's a possibility. Marcel into that bay right there. He into that.
Rihanna.
We also got Facebook. Facebook is starting to ban people now. Finally, they kicked off Alex Jones, Milo Yiannopoulos, Laura Loomer, Paul Joseph Watson, and Louis Farrakhan. So they are starting to kick people off of Facebook now. So that's out there. And I think Ben Shapiro did a review of Avengers Endgame. Now, Ben always has tried to be hip. I remember when he said a meme was pictures that popped up on your phone. That's what he said a meme was. That was his definition. He's always out there trying to be hip and stuff like that. Get with the program. And he has done several reviews in the past. Like I think he did one for Black Panther and Captain Marvel. I don't know, but whatever movie that he feels has SJW shit in it. So he comes out of his troll cave and talks about these films. I think one final thing we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about Jonah Lucas. He dropped another video. I think this one is about religion. I haven't watched it. I just saw the title. We're going to jump right into that. All right. So any questions? Anyone has any questions? Anything you people want to say before we jump right into the program here?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. I thought you meant like the viewership. I was just agreeing with you. Do you have any questions?
Jeez. I just want to say Jonah the best in the game right now. So it's got to be a good song.
I mean, I hope everybody in the chat has to agree with Morgan because he is the chat right now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves Jordan Lucas. Nobody else. Nobody in the chat.
Yeah, I'm the supreme ruler.
Also, that being said, Jordan Lucas is an idiot and a coon, and I feel like he shouldn't be talking. He's ill-equipped to talk about the shit that he talks about. That's what I go.
Isn't everybody? What up, Bobby Trizzle?
Yeah.
Anime nigga, Tony Robinson, Morgan. Morgan, get your ass out the chat. One above all.
That ain't me.
What I'm talking about, man.
Man,
Shout outs to y'all.
This nigga got a dragon profile pic, but his name Morgan, like accent Morgan. This shit confusing.
It's confusing as hell.
It's not that good. How you so intelligent, but you can't comprehend that?
It's like he want to be. It's like he want to be Gold D. Roger, but he really acts Sam Morgan, like you said.
Oh man, I
who
kinda,
said I was X-Hand? Get off of Mo's dick, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Low key, I can appreciate it, man.
What better dick to be on, man?
I'm Master Roasty.
Hey, do you, Bush? Do you?
I am. Clearly.
Ammo, do you ammo?
Don't do anything with me, man. That shit wild, nigga. I don't like that.
You feeling uncomfortable?
You're homophobic now?
No, I'm bushophobic.
Damn. I fuck with that.
That's supposed to be your man.
Yeah, but he ain't my man like that, though.
I mean, you never know.
I'm his man's man, dog. Hey, but rest in peace to John Singleton.
You said you're my man's man.
We a moment of silence, please. Order in the court before we start. We gotta say rest in peace to John Singleton, and rest in peace to Chewbacca as well. We didn't get his picture up, but rest in peace to Chewbacca, the guy that embodies the character. You know, I guess like he does the voice and everything. So, I guess.
You
But
should
yeah,
say a couple things about John Singleton first. I think you should say a couple things about that, and I guess I talk about the Chewbacca dude. Yeah, just say what you associate with him. What you grateful for, stuff like that.
I mean, I guess I can do that. But yeah, I mean, John Singleton is a black director, and he's one of the few black directors that are trying to push our stories out there. You know, he's one of our voices in the industry. And he talked about how, to get more people in the industry, black people, there needs to be somebody that helps them get in there. There needs to be somebody that gives them a leg up. And he was one of the people that were doing that. And I think when he first got his start, when what he said, Russell Simmons gave him a shot. Russell Simmons read his Boys in the Hood script, and they went to get the movie. I think that was his first movie, by the way, which is crazy. That being one of his first films, and I think it was nominated, wasn't it? It's nominated.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So, but classic director, Poetic Justice, like I said, Boys in the Hood, Rosewood, Too Fast, Too Furious, Four Brothers. What else he did? Oh, Snowfall, great TV show. I mean, there's lots of other stuff in between, but I think Baby Boy, of course, he did a lot of stuff. Yeah, Ricky, yeah. What up, Mr. Anime Tales? But yeah, how do you feel about Chewbacca dying? What's your thoughts on Chewbacca?
I mean, like, first of all, let's talk about, Peter Mayhew's had like a rich legacy. You see what I'm saying? He's been quintessential to this franchise for a bit. It's been interesting because since like Chewbacca's such an iconic character, they've since gotten a younger dude that's like a spot on sort of impressionist of the Chewbacca character. And like, even though there's somebody else playing him in the movies, I think we should acknowledge the fact that it took this guy to create that voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't really have anything else crazy to say, but Peter Mayhew, rest in peace. And that's about it. Yeah.
All right, let's get this show right on the road. The first thing we're gonna talk about, we're gonna go ahead and watch that Ben Shapiro video. He did a review on Endgame. I want to see his thoughts on it. Let's get right into that. Is everybody in to watch together? It's linked in the chat, so jump your happy asses in there now.
Yes.
Yes. All right, let's pull up old Benny Pooh.
Oh, look at his face. This nigga ain't no Pooh about
Benny Pooh with the hot takes. That's it.
Okay, I don't. All right, regardless of your views of Ben Shapiro, you gonna agree you want to hit this nigga in the face, right? Like at least one time. Like, come on, man. Look at him.
I'm not mad at that.
Nobody's lower lip should ever look like that. Like, what's happening?
Chill, man. This dude woke.
He woke. This is Philly Boy 08's favorite political correspondent. By the way, I just want to put that out there.
This is the reason Philly ain't on the podcast, man. He's been watching these videos.
So y'all SJWs canceled him? Kicked him out the podcast?
I ain't canceled nothing, man. The last podcast we did with Philly was him defending this man's points. So we go.
Shapiro got some points.
Okay. We'll see if he has points here. By the way, spoiler alert: there will be spoilers in Ben Shapiro's review. So if he doesn't say it, I'm gonna say it. So if you haven't seen the movie, you have been warned. All right.
Yeah, I mean he could include no spoilers and still ruin the movie for you. By the way, just by speaking about it. But let's keep it going.
Let me go.
My wife. Now I didn't hate it. Okay, it's a little strong to say that I hated Avengers Endgame, but I don't really like throwing cold water on people's favorite movies and the things that they love a lot. Well, I won't say I don't like doing it. I don't enjoy it more than I should. In any case, Avengers Endgame, it is 1 million hours long. It is the Wagnerian ring cycle, and it has moments, but there are a bunch of spoilers coming, guys. It does not work as a film. It does not work as a film. It basically destroys all of the main characters that you actually care about in favor of a bunch of characters you don't. It's got the Star Wars problem. So the new Star Wars basically took all the characters you like and killed them off to make room for characters that you don't actually care about. So here's a little bit of the trailer, and then
All right, let me pause it right here. What are y'all thoughts so far, man? Do you agree with
Big facts. Big facts.
I'm tired of all these niggas hating on Star Wars, no, there's no such thing as a Star Wars problem. The only thing that's wrong with The Last Jedi was that they completely rewrote Luke Skywalker's character when he tried to kill my nigga at the beginning of the movie because he saw the darkness inside of him. I can understand that. That's fine. Now, right now, I know he's just trolling, but it's triggering me.
I think he is trolling. I think he's truly lugged his way into stupidity. I feel like that's truly where he's at.
So now it's, man, I'm tired of this, man. Everybody go against y'all stupid. Lord. Play the video, man.
Yes, they are.
Play the video. All right. Morgan is being triggered right now. He's highly upset. Let me play the video.
I'm not upset. It's just, just something to think on.
All right, so let me get this straight. So Morgan agrees with him. Marcel disagrees. Mo disagrees, and of course, I disagree with him. Let's play the video.
I mean, hold on. I think I need to expand upon. I do actually think that Star Wars, to a degree, does have issues that they can rework. But
man, fuck Star Wars. I'm talking about Avengers, man. Fuck Star Wars right now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I disagree with him on everything he said about Avengers so far. Keep it playing.
All right. Yeah, let's gotta get into a tangent about Star Wars.
All of the problems.
You went on a
Avengers
tangent,
Endgame.
man.
I fought my way.
Fast forward this shit.
I thought you went to the black
It
screen to
relies
show us
on the
that there are no
nostalgia
problems
up
with
to
Endgame.
this final film. Like, that's 16 films, and it is a cool thing that they were somehow able to put together 16 films that led all the way up to this final film. Like, that's really a neat achievement on a cinema.
Did he say 16? Because I'm pretty sure there's 22.
Yeah, there's 22.
Come on, play the video.
Yeah, let them be off.
The problem is none of this works, and they destroy all of your favorite characters, with probably the exception of Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson,
Hold on,
finally gets a character arc that is worthy of her acting skills.
Pause.
You can pause it.
Press the button.
Listen, hold up. This I'm not trying to just be that guy just because it's Ben Shapiro, right? But does he have authority to tell us who our favorite characters are if he's only seen 16 of the 22 movies that have come out?
I mean, it's Ben Shapiro,
we don't know
man.
if he saw 16.
Facts don't care about your feelings, man.
Exactly. Say it again, Bush.
To be honest, that's an interesting point. You've devalued his case even more. And what you've done is that you've ignored he only knows the existence of 16. he might not have seen all 16 that he thinks exist.
Look, man, Ben Shapiro doesn't watch trash. His time is too valuable for that.
Yeah, you want to watch the first
16,
the Thor movies? You want to watch all those?
Nigga, even if you take the Thor movies,
that nigga obviously missed Civil War. He obviously missed all the Cap shit and all of Tony Stark shit.
He missed probably who else out there? Sheesh, who is out there?
Well, he don't even know. This is what I'm talking about. This is representing the chat right here, man.
I only know the top 3 and the rest are irrelevant. Oh, he definitely didn't watch Captain Marvel. I know that.
You only know the top 3 and the rest is irrelevant. Didn't the top 3 get the most screen time this film?
Who?
You
only know who my top 3 is.
I know who the top 3 are.
Well, I'm talking about my top 3.
It's going to be mentioned in this video. Let's just keep it playing. Let's keep it playing.
All right, let's keep it playing.
Here are all the spoilers. So Iron Man obviously plots is right at the end. Iron Man dies. Iron Man's character arc is the only interesting thing in this movie, but they totally botch it. The reason that they botch it is because Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.'s character, for all of his movies, the struggle for Iron Man has been not, do I go save the world or am I selfish? That's solved in movie 1, right? The rest of the movies are all about, will he settle down? He right. Let's keep it on it.
Okay.
Will he settle down?
You say so.
Will he build a family? Can he contain himself? Will he become a solid citizen? Right? That was the struggle of Robert Downey Jr. When was he going to grow up and be an adult? That was the question of Robert Downey Jr. And after Thanos snaps his fingers in the first 45 minutes of the movie, you find out that Robert Downey Jr. has gotten married to Pepper Potts and that he has actually had a kid with her. And this is good, right? This is a good setup. And then it arises through really dumb coincidence. Hey guys, have you ever had the idea of time travel? Have you thought about it?
Pause.
Hey, yo, by the way, I gotta shout out my nigga Badunkadunk. I haven't seen that nigga in a while.
The homie.
Hold on.
completely wrong.
I'm trying to give little Benjamin a chance, man. Hold up, I'm trying to give him a chance.
Okay.
Right about the first part. The second part, he's completely wrong about. He says, let's throw away this idea of his character up into this form because time travel. First of all, let's think about something, right? If you had to go by the fact that he says 16 movies, I'm assuming he's seen neither Ant-Man movie because time travel isn't something they've pulled out of their ass. It's something they've been hinting at since the beginning because, the quantum realm has existed since Phase 2. Like, what are we talking about right now?
I mean, that's kind.
Y'all
That's
are so stuck on that 16 films.
that's kind of Marvel fault in that they made. That's Kevin Feige fault. He kept saying that how you need to watch Captain Marvel to know, but you really had to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. And like I feel like his promotion.
I think we've gotten to the point where like Kevin Feige's wrong about just about everything that comes to Captain Marvel, except for the fact that she might be the strongest Avenger. But besides that, like we've acknowledged that Kevin Feige obviously was trying to sell a movie, and he sold his movie.
Yeah, he sold it, but yeah. I mean,
we're not gonna sit and act like his description of Tony Stark was completely wrong.
Who said that?
He was right.
No, he was completely
I
wrong.
defended him. I defended this nigga.
What was wrong, Marcel?
All right, so quote me. Let's see if I'm quoting him correctly. He said that Tony Stark's character for these whole movies was about him growing up and starting a family. Is that what he said?
No.
Oh.
He said he was so selfish, and then we get to this movie, and it's about him growing up and starting a family.
Not necessarily that. He's saying that like the conflict of Iron Man has never been about sacrifice. He was willing to sacrifice himself from the jump. You see what I'm saying? He was saying that like his conflict up until this point, like if you remove Cap, was when is he gonna grow up and become a citizen that's willing to build a life for himself? Do you see what I'm saying? Because I get that, but I don't necessarily think that's his conflict. I think he's kind of gotten that wrong too. I think Iron Man's conflict has more so been about the fact that Iron Man's trying to retire organically. It was never necessarily about I want this all to be over because I want to live. It's never been that selfish. I think I want this to be over because we do not need people that have to keep operating this stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? It's an ineffective approach to heroism.
But remember,
he wants
in Civil War, he said when he was talking about Pepper, when it was just him and Cap in the room, he said, I trashed all my suits, and to be honest, I don't want to stop, but for her, I do. But internally, he does not want to stop being Iron Man.
But he also had a line, I believe in Age of Ultron, where he said, "Isn't that the reason we do this, so we don't have to keep going out there," or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But let's kind of wrap this up a little bit. We gotta get back to the video, so I'll wrap it up.
Let's get back to it. Let's do it.
Right.
Wait, Marcel, you finished, nigga?
Yeah, I just said that Civil War was after Age of Ultron.
All right.
Seriously? And then Robert Downey Jr. is like, oh man, well, I guess, and I haven't thought about it, it's impossible. Well, I have 5 minutes here. So in 5 minutes, he comes up with a time travel plan. So forget about how silly that is. That he comes up with a time travel plan in the next 5 minutes. It's an Avengers film. You can't look for.
Actually, no, hold on. Pause.
What? It's a nitpick, yeah. Well, I don't know why you brought it up, but you talking about
nigga seconds in, y'all already pausing the fucking video,
man. Made time travel in 5 minutes. That's a fact.
No, he was working on it that whole time. He said, I thought of every possibility.
This is the same.
Yeah,
they came to him with time travel, and then he had it in the same night.
Tony Stark is a fucking genius. He already thought of it. He couldn't do it.
So what's wrong with him saying he made it in a short amount of time? Well, she did.
He's been working on it for that 5-year time skip.
He wasn't working on it. He was not working on it.
What? They came to him after the time skip, Marcel.
Yeah.
I realized they came to him after the time skip, but he said, I've thought of every possibility. And when Ant-Man came to him with the quantum and all that bullshit, he was like, I understand that. And why do you think he was so knowledgeable about it? Because he's actually thought about it this whole time.
He thought about it. It didn't work. But that doesn't mean that he's working on it.
I mean, that's a nitpick, man. Any final thoughts? Let's get back to the video. What you got to say, Mo?
All I was gonna say is that like I've rewatched Iron Man 1 recently, and like Tony is that smart. Like it takes watching one clip from that movie to be like he's that smart.
Yeah, this nigga's got fucking nanotech suits and shit, man. Like, yo. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
4 years trying to figure out how time travel works or anything like that. But here's the problem. Now, Tony Stark has stakes. The stakes are, and they present this choice, it's ready to be made. The stakes are, do you go back and change the past and thus lose what you have built for yourself in the aftermath of you becoming a mature human being? Lose a daughter. Do you sacrifice your own daughter to save the world, right? That's a real moral choice. But then they obviate that choice in the next 30 seconds of the film, where they explain that if they go back and change the past, it won't actually change this timeline, and therefore Tony Stark's kid will still be alive, and his wife will still be alive, and everything will be hunky-dory. So now this just becomes another Iron Man film, where it's about Tony Stark risking himself to go save the world, but there are no heightened stakes at all. So you've built up to his final character transformation into a responsible human being, and the question is going to be, now is he even more responsible than the responsible human being? He's built a family. Now, is he willing to sacrifice his own family and his own happiness in order to save the world? And the answer is, we're not going to make him answer the question because we don't have the guts to actually pose that choice. So that's the problem with Iron Man's character. Captain America's...
All right, so how do y'all feel about that?
What he said was
He's wrong. I'll tell you why he's wrong. First of all, like, the moment he said something about time travel is just something that was introduced right now, and it's like just some shocking thing. It's like, oh look, I guess this presents a interesting, what's it called, conflict for Iron Man, and it puts his story in an interesting direction. The stakes are higher or whatever. I think he's once again neglecting information. If you go back to Infinity War, the idea is that he'd been maneuvering from that point until now as if his choices really mattered. You see what I'm saying? He built the life for himself. He got those 5 years to be the person he'd always wanted to be and move beyond the Avengers. And this thing that had taken so many casualties and taken everybody's loved ones and stuff actually gave him everything he ever wanted. While he enjoyed all of that, everybody else was dead. You see what I'm saying? Everybody else was gone. And in the end, when he exchanges looks with Doctor Strange, I don't have to make that choice because that choice was made for me the moment this happened. I never had a choice. You see what I'm saying? Like this was never in my hands. This is truly destiny. This is how it was gonna pan out.
Okay.
Like regardless, you know.
All right. How you feel about this, Marcel?
He said that there were no stakes on the line, but once he picked up that picture of Peter Parker, he realized that Aunt May, she's still alive somewhere without Peter Parker. And people are suffering or having to deal with having to deal with not having family members, losing everything. Tony Stark didn't lose anything except for Peter Parker, but he has a family. He didn't lose Pepper. Like in the beginning of the movie, he was like, I wish she's still alive, because he was leaving that recording for her. Didn't know she was still alive. Now that he has Pepper and his daughter, he fulfilled that dream that he said of, oh, I should move Pepper to a farm and do the same shit that Barton did. He did that. But now Barton lost his family, Aunt May lost Peter Parker, and he can't live with that. Especially that it showed that he has post-traumatic fucking stress disorder from Iron Man 3. So obviously he can't live with certain things that go on with him.
All right.
So that, like, there are stakes for it.
All right. Anybody else? What about you, Morgan? I know you the
no comment.
So you gonna call us as soon as that nigga wrong, right?
Nah, he's right in this situation too. I'm waiting for him to be wrong though.
Stone, are you his
I
Stone?
don't hear you. All I hear is that's all I hear.
Right?
What does that mean?
Work in a month.
All right, yeah. So you have issues with Iron Man's story arc?
Nope, it could have gone either way. I don't care about that one.
All right, let's go then.
Character. The problem with Captain America's character is they've always gotten it wrong. So Captain America is basically John McCain. He's supposed to be this crotchety old guy in a young guy's body, right? A man out of time. Captain America has never felt like a man out of time to me. He's just felt like generic superhero who's kind of dopey and a good guy. Right? That's the way Chris Evans has played him. And this isn't just Chris Evans because Chris Evans dislikes me. Chris Evans apparently, the people who write the script basically felt that he would just be like any normal guy. Like if you saw
So I think this is I think this is hate because Chris Evans is SJW in real life, and I think I think his hatred of the character.
Once again, he's just wrong. He's wrong again. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Captain America said, he said in Avengers 1, when he told when Iron Man told him to rip the panel off, he was like, oh, this must run on some form of electricity. Like, the nigga didn't know what the fuck electricity was and shit. He was in a flying helicarrier. Like, he was an old-ass man in modern time. Like, what is this nigga talking about?
He's also doing that thing where he's like, oh yeah, his characterization was wrong from the beginning. He's supposed to be like this. He's supposed to be like this. But to be honest with you, like that because if you read any of Captain America's comics from the point that Jack Kirby and I think it might have been Steve Buscema back then, if I'm correct. Like from that until now, it's like no, that's not. It's not what it's been. Like as soon as they introduced the sort of man out of time story, the idea was Cap had to have that moment of adjusting to modern day society, or at least what was modern back then. But a big part of his character that he was exceptional enough to be able to kind of operate semi effectively in modern time. Because Captain America wasn't a massive racist, despite how racist the time was. He wasn't a massive sexist, despite how sexist the time was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And him exceptional. I think like if we had to say who's Marvel's Superman, I would say Captain America. If we're talking about the way he operates, he is exceptional. That's what makes him exceptional.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. His issue with Captain America's character. I don't. I mean, it's not. His character isn't as like developed as Iron Man, I would say, but it's still a good character arc to me.
I think he isn't as complicated as Iron Man. I think they're about as good as each other. He's just not as complicated. I think Iron Man's far more of like a nuanced, complicated character. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, definitely. Any other words on this before we continue? All right, let's go.
No comment.
Captain America.
This is wrong.
Without the uniform, you wouldn't know he's Captain America. He's just a guy. Well, that's not how the character is in the comics, and that's not how the character should be here. So the stakes for Captain America aren't extraordinarily high. Now, Captain America's ending, where they have him basically go back in time, and then he is able to, and then he basically just stays back in time with the love of his life. I was fine with that. I really didn't have a huge problem with his ending. I thought his ending was the most appropriate. I thought Iron Man dying, even that would have been appropriate if they had set it up properly. That was okay. The person who I really couldn't stand what they did with him was Thor. So what they did with Thor makes no sense on a character level. So I understand you guys wanted the joke. You wanted Thor with the dad bod. Got it. Okay, you want him to be fat and burp a lot and be Big Lebowski. Okay, it's funny for the first 5 minutes. And then this is not Thor. Right? We've had several Thor movies at this point. Thor's problem has never been lack of courage. It's always been that he is afraid that he does not have the moral fiber to be the leader. It's been that he's afraid of leadership. That's been his moral conflict, is that he's been afraid of leadership the whole time, and leadership has to be thrust upon him, and then he realizes he's a leader. But instead they just...
Pause. What are you talking about? Like this is he's actually just
the strongest Avenger.
It's not even about that. Thor's conflict from the beginning is that he's too gung-ho about being the leader. He thinks a leader is superficial understanding of what a leader is. He sees the Odin gets the throne room. He sees him as this massive ruler that has all these war stories that he can only dream of having. And he's like, that's what being a king is. Being a king is storming into war and killing countless women and children. And conquering lands. That's what it is. That's the Asgardian dream. That's what the ruler of Asgard is supposed to be. But one is a movie. The idea is it's almost like like Hercules, where he's sent to Earth to learn a lesson and he's supposed to come back with a new frame of mind. Where it's like it isn't that simple. Do you see what I'm saying? Things are far harder than anything I could have imagined. And that's where his journey starts out. And I don't even think you could really say that was his journey in Ragnarok, because I'm assuming a lot of people didn't watch those movies, including him. You know what I'm saying? And they started Ragnarok. Even in Ragnarok, the idea is that he loses everything and tries to reclaim it. It's never about a fear of leadership. It's about back to my people the entire movie. There's never a point where he's like, oh, I'm gonna just chill on this planet because I hate being the leader anyway. You see what I'm saying? It isn't guilt that drives him to go back to Asgard. It's the fact that he's lost and he needs to go back because he has a duty to be king. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
agree with that. I mean, he never really understood like what it meant to be a king to begin with, and he's just trying to become king because that's what everybody says he should be. And I think we kind of get that. I think his mother kind of breaks that down. That's why in the end he gives it over to someone else, because he realized that he didn't fully understand what it meant to be king and that he didn't really want it. That's really not who he was.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know how you feel about this. I'm gonna go to Morgan, man. Do you agree with this? Do you agree with this? Did you hate Thor's fat body, man?
I don't know about his body, but I didn't like the Fat Thor character at all.
All
Probably
right.
at the ending when he actually stood up for him. Well, when he pulled up Thanos, but that jump was dumb. He went and retired, started playing Fortnite, drunk himself every day, and then
Call you relate to him, Morgan?
it was cool. He was depressed, but it's like the way he was acting. What was that scene when he said, "Oh, I'll be the one to snap the fingers"? I gotta do it, man. I gotta do it. Man, shut up. God damn.
That scene that made you tell him to shut up. He literally had a scene where he went back and tried to cry for his mom as he tried to save her in an alternate timeline.
Oh no, that's understanding. Who wouldn't even try to say that mom? But he can't do it though.
But the difference between you and other people is the delivery of doing something that you understand sometimes gets you mad. You're like, oh, but he cried though. You know what I'm saying?
No, he wasn't. I ain't say he was crying. He was just acting like it.
He definitely was like.
Yeah, he was on the he's been on the verge of tears since fucking Ragnarok, man. So so yeah,
every time he looks at his feelings and he's alone and has the time to talk about them, he's like, damn, my life sucks.
Here I am, the god. Fuck, what is the god of thunder? I don't know what the fuck he is. Is he?
Something like that.
He's the god of thunder until that nigga can't got that shit. Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, I fuck with it. I don't know. I think people just hate it because they felt like they cucked Thor. I mean, use their terminology. They cucked the strong, powerful white man to make way for these lesser minority characters.
I see that.
Of course you would.
This nigga brought that shit.
Yeah, like it didn't happen.
No, man, Captain America white, and so is Iron Man. So what are we talking about?
He said strong white males. You heard what he said. You gotta bring it to the minorities or the people that can, discriminate against.
It's whatever, man. I know he hot as hell that Thor gave the kingdom over to Valkyrie. So
decided to go in the direction of not that he doesn't want to take leadership, but that he's afraid to participate himself. That he won't even participate, and so they make him basically a drunk weakling. And it's silly. And you never actually get to see Thor really in action because they've decided to saddle him with a fat suit for the joke. Which is, again, not in character and also very silly. Like, I was waiting for the point where Thor would just kind of take the hammer or the axe and slam it on the ground, the lightning comes in, he's back to being old Thor, right? I was waiting for that sort of transformation. That never really happens.
Wouldn't that be more unrealistic? They just turn back skinny. Electricity.
The nigga not human.
Come on, that's way more ridiculous than that nigga being fat.
I honestly do think discovering time travel in 5 minutes makes more sense than my lightning hammer makes me skinny again.
Y'all niggas know damn well that's not what that fuck that nigga meant.
He said it. What do you mean? So he was waiting for that nigga to turn skinny.
Hold on.
He's talking about how Thor wasn't a good leader, but he actually said to Star-Lord, like, hey, nigga, I'm taking over your crew. Like, what are you talking about? This nigga's retarded. He's fucking taking over the
there's something else that he ignored. It's like, yeah, like he's depressed. Yeah, he's taking a massive hit of confidence, but he's still Thor. And that's kind of the big thing that I feel like the Guardians 3 will deal with. It's like him realizing that he's kind of that's the wildest part. The thing that he said was always his conflict is only really his conflict right now. I feel like the only time he's actually blown off his responsibilities and shafted them off to somebody else and denied the position as king is now. Because he realized, like, even though he hasn't said it, it feels like Thor's at a point where he realizes he isn't the best for Asgard and Valkyrie might be better to take over. And I think he's going to come back when he's mentally in a better place by the end of Guardians 3.
All right, let's continue with the video.
Adam Warlock gonna kill that nigga.
Shut up, nigga. We almost finished.
And in fact, the best thing about Thor is in the first 5 minutes of the film when he kills Thanos, right? The first 5 minutes of the film where he chops Thanos' head off, that's the best thing that he's got in the entire film. The rest of the time, he's basically wasted, which is a pity because Chris Hemsworth can actually hold his own on screen.
I mean, that him killing Thor, like I think they set that up pretty well. Him killing Thanos, and he realized that didn't help him feel better. I think that's when he deteriorated and fell into alcoholism and shit. So I mean, I don't even know what he's talking about, man. I don't know why people hate Thor's character art. I thought it was pretty good in the film, one of the better ones.
I don't think Chris Evans can. I think Chris Hemsworth can. with Robert Downey Jr., but they don't give him anything to do
What?
except be funny, which he is. I mean, in that
The
there's
best movies in this entire
He
universe. Like,
said
what are we
he
talking
said
about? He
Chris
can't hold his
Evans
own.
can't hold his own. Nigga had 3 movies, 3
Yo,
amazing movies.
There's a difference between preferring Chris Hemsworth as an actor, and there's a completely different thing when you say the other actor can't hold his own. He's done it 3 times, each one successively better than the other. Like, what are we talking about?
This nigga's retarded.
yeah. Also, you got that train. What's that train movie he was on called? That shit. I love that film. What is it called?
Snowpiercer, right?
Snowpiercer. Oh,
That was
yeah.
Chris Evans.
Yeah, Chris Evans is the lead in that.
Yeah.
That shit
didn't know.
fire,
That
nigga.
movie's great. It's by a Korean director, right?
Yeah. That
Is
shit
that the one
is
that was on
fire.
Netflix? The most- Is
It's
that
based on a comic book, guys. Wink, wink.
I think it may be on Netflix. I don't know, but yeah.
Anyone that gets a chance, watch Snowpiercer. That movie's really good.
Yeah.
the final kind of thing with Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth that's very funny. Okay, but he was supposed to be more than a funny character. If you watch the first Thor film directed by Kenneth Branagh, it was supposed to be far more serious.
Them shit suck, and they realized
He was
that.
trash. Why you talking like you're a real fan? That movie was bad. What are we talking about?
Everybody that complains about him making Thor serious, you can't make a fucking lightning Viking serious with a magic hammer, dog. Stop it.
I was this nigga at one point. I was you, Ben Shapiro. Not politically you trash, but I'm talking about I was you in that sort of mindset where I'm like, I'm gonna be the guy that sounds like he knows what he's talking about because I remember who directed the movie. You see what I'm saying? Kenneth did a pretty mediocre job directing that movie, and you know it, nigga.
Yeah, like stop trying. I'm tired of these comic book fans that want everything to be dark, and they hate Marvel because Marvel likes to put in jokes in their shit. But these are the same people that love Shazam for no fucking reason, but they complain about the jokes and shit. Man, fuck these niggas, man. Fuck Ben Shapiro, little Weasley slimy ass nigga, and I blame you for all them fucking mass shootings that have been happening, nigga. In them synagogues, you fuck nigga.
Yo,
I agree.
I know that one dude in the chat just like, I knew this one about
Going on.
politics.
No, man. Nigga tried to what's the Muslim chick name? Omar, what's the Ilhan Omar or some shit that they keep trying to blame for these shootings and shit. Like when it's really they ideology that's pushed these niggas to the dark side. Like anyway, man.
Serious. Also, as my business partner Jeremy Boring has pointed out, that it's pretty obvious from the film that they wanted Anthony Hopkins to come back and do a scene with Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Hemsworth, they weren't able to get Hemsworth to do it, so instead they brought back Rene Russo for a conversation, and it really doesn't work fantastically well. Thanos is built up in the first Avengers film as this guy with an interesting backstory and with an actual rationale, right? He feels that balance has to be brought back because he lived on a planet where overpopulation was a problem, so he snaps his fingers, half the people are gone, balance is restored. Okay, now they bring us back to old Thanos, who still has that same mission, and they basically just turn him into Big Baddie, right? Now he doesn't have an interesting backstory. Now he's just a sadist. And there's a line near the end of the film where he turns to Robert Downey Jr. or Captain America. I think it's maybe Captain America, and he says, your little planet, I'm going to enjoy destroying it. Okay, come on. Like, if you want to draw a good villain, then you can't just make them a sadist. Every bad villain, like Steppenwolf from Justice League, is just
Wasn't a
sadist who wants
sadist
to
in the
do
movie
bad
from
stuff.
his perspective.
But Thanos had an interesting backstory, and the thing about Thanos is that Thanos was willing to sacrifice his own daughter for what he believed in. Right? Thanos, he's immoral, he's a bad person, but he's willing to make a sacrifice they don't even ask Robert Downey Jr. to make in the second Avengers film. So that is a problem as well.
Overlooking a massive thing that I mentioned before. It's like, he's like, oh yeah, he has to make a choice. He does this, he does that. I feel like ultimately the reason the Avengers win by the end of Endgame is not all because there was a choice that had to be made. It was an acknowledgement that your choices were already made from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? Like, Iron Man's death was planned from the jump. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
the way the timeline was that a key part of them winning was Tony having to ultimately sacrifice himself and him dying. And I think the difference is that when you say Thanos actually had to make that choice, yeah, he did within that movie. He had to make that choice. But when you get to Endgame, you realize that choice was it would be made regardless, And I don't know. I feel like within the context of the first film, it makes a lot of sense, and you can award what's called Thanos character points with that. But it doesn't really apply in this movie. You can't really compare it to the dude that knew that Destiny was Destiny.
Okay. All right, let's move on here. Almost finished with this. I don't know how long does this
Now,
shit is.
there are two characters who I do think
minutes, I guess.
are treated well by the script. Black Widow is treated well by the script. Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner, is treated well by the script. Carol Danvers, the Captain Marvel character, I just have to say that she's insanely boring. So I didn't actually see the Captain Marvel film. I'm intending on going and seeing it at some point. I didn't really feel the compunction to see it. But in any case, she's in the film, but she's basically a block of wood that breaks things. And that's what Carol Danvers does. She doesn't have any character.
I kind of agree with him on this one.
I agree with him too, especially in this movie.
She just flies around and she smashes things. All right. And she's Deus Ex Machina. Another point made by my business partner, we had a conversation about this morning, is that one of the problems with this film is that you also don't know the comparative power of the characters. So it's like every character has a power that is equally powerful, despite the fact that they don't. And there's a scene near the end where the Avengers headquarters is hit by 1 million missiles, and somehow Ant-Man, who is a human, and Jeremy Renner, who is a human, are fine. They're like the bottom of 20 stories. They're fine. Totally cool. That makes no sense. And there's a scene where Thanos, who does not have the Infinity Gauntlet at this point, is fighting off Captain America and Thor and Iron Man. He's fighting off all three of them. Well, if you remember back to the first Avengers film, he barely holds off Thor alone, right? Thor shows up, and Thor nearly takes him out while he has the Infinity Stone. So if he doesn't have the Infinity Stones, he's basically just a big bad guy. So why are all three of them unable to take him out? And then there was the NFL ad recapitulation where they're trying to run the gauntlet between players.
Oh, is he gonna say Black Panther with the foot? Who said that in the comment section? So, what do y'all niggas say?
True though.
What do y'all niggas say?
He carrying the football.
But as far as the power scaling, I don't give a fuck about that. I mean, I'm sure there's some valid points in there about power scaling and all of that shit. I don't really give a fuck about it. That's too far in the nerd sphere for me to even fuck with.
It's the thing. Like I feel like probably a lot further than other people. Like unless it's like completely and utterly ridiculous. Like if there's for example, a point where I see the Ant-Man beats Thor in a head-on fight. You know what I'm saying? That's something I'll complain about. But like I'm not about to complain about Captain Marvel showing up, destroying ships by flying through them, and then like Kevin Feige being like, she's the strongest Avenger ever. I'll be like, whatever, man. You know what I mean? I don't care.
Yeah.
Where I am with power scaling.
I mean, and power scaling is fucked up even in the comics themselves. Like, you have...
Well, no shit, because everybody's trying to write a book that sells, and everybody wants to believe the character they're writing about is the strongest, powerfulest, smartest character in the damn universe, man.
Yeah, and I'm willing for them to fuck up power scaling for a good story. Like, you can make shit seem ridiculous. Like, that scene that everybody complains about when you got Wanda and Division fighting off against the Black Order, and Cap comes and saves them with two humans. Like what was it? Black Widow and Sam Wilson, Hawkeye. Not Hawkeye, but what's that nigga? Is it Hawkeye? No, it's not. Hawkeye is Jeremy Renner. What's that nigga name? Falcon. I'm sorry, Falcon. Yeah, Falcon. But yeah, everybody complains about that scene. But I like that shit because they Captain showed up and it was an epic moment, you know, to see Captain come out the shadows. So yeah, them being defeated by humans is kind of ridiculous, but it made for a good scene. So I'll accept shit like that because I don't really care about power scaling that much, honestly. Go ahead, Stone. You said something?
Yeah, I said even you forgot about Falcon, nigga.
Yeah, talking about I'm forgetting somebody.
No, the reason he forgot to call him Falcon is because that's not his name anymore. He's Captain America.
Exactly.
That's debatable.
Exactly. The fuck.
Let's finish.
I ain't getting no confirmation.
Anybody can come and snatch that.
I mean, I don't know why niggas hating on Sam Wilson as Captain America. Like, yeah,
we hating on Sam Boats. Oh, my bad.
Yo, he hasn't had his own film yet, so I think you niggas need to withhold your judgment until he gets.
He did have his own film called 8 Mile, nigga.
Hold on. Stone. You're anti-Falcon Cap?
Man, fuck that nigga. I don't give a fuck about no
Too many
one.
minorities. I'm sick of all these minorities.
Oh,
Falcon.
so,
Captain Falcon lame, nigga. That's about it. Like that nigga, he got beat by Ant-Man. How the fuck? Like, come on, man.
That's true.
What's the MCU? What are we talking about?
This nigga got no real feats, man. Hey, what the fuck has Sam?
He not the main character. Of course, he ain't got no fucking feet.
He Captain America now, isn't he? He ain't do shit.
Yeah, what's his feet though?
He ain't got no feet because he not a main character.
The boy don't even have super serum on. What the fuck? Like, come on, bro.
It don't make sense to give a side character ridiculous feats, nigga. That's stupidity.
It's not ridiculous. It's like
so you saying that
by Ant-Man.
Bush, I've realized something. I think what you've only done here is prove why none of you niggas got the shield. You ain't Captain America, bitch, nigga.
I mean, you ain't got it either, but you simping for him.
You don't see my shield, nigga. You don't see my webcam, nigga. I got it right here.
Exactly, man. I got a shield too, nigga.
I'm offended you calling me nigga.
Got my Captain American boxes on.
King Coon, nigga. King Kunta, nigga.
King Kunta. Let's go.
Bro, y'all so racist.
Like,
Hate racism.
Doing fan service. Look, there's
It's
Black
crazy.
Panther. Ooh, there's Spider-Man. Oh, look, they're handing it to this other character who we don't care about. Yay! And then they're just kind of throwing in the gauntlet just to remind.
He say Black Panther's a character we don't care about. Yo, what up?
Low key facts.
Stop. Jumping.
All I know is when that nigga came out the port and said, "Yeah, Bombay," everyone started clapping. That's all I know. Yeah, Bombay.
I want this nigga Morgan to kill himself now, immediately, nigga. Die.
Dang. Like that?
Immediate death, nigga.
I ain't agree with it, you know.
All right, let's play the rest of this shit. We almost finished. We got like 1 minute left.
Mind you,
I'm waiting for him to mention that scene where the woman show up.
Yeah, he gonna get there.
Okay, the center of this universe was always supposed to be Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. They turned Thor into a loser. Captain America is boring, and Iron Man, they don't give a full motivation and prohibit him from making a proper choice. Now, there are, again, scenes in this movie that are quite good. The scene between the Hulk, for example, the Mark Ruffalo character, and Tilda Swinton, the character from Doctor Strange, right? That's actually a good scene, right? The scene with Robert Downey Jr. and his dad. That's a good scene too, but overall, I felt like it was a mishmash. I felt like it didn't really work. I understand that for uber fans of Marvel, I'm not speaking as an uber fan of Marvel. I've seen virtually all of these films. I think that Captain Marvel is the only one that I've not seen. But
you seen all 16 of them?
They're uber fans.
all them but
Captain
there,
Marvel.
like,
picking out the Easter eggs.
Oh, you seen all 16 of them but Captain Marvel.
Back to that
got
movie
21 on his belt.
Funny? And there's some there's a lot of stuff there.
21.
Chill out, man. Let this man finish his
It's
statement.
not filmmaking,
It's almost
and
over.
it doesn't give an emotional resonance. The only emotional resonance really is Iron Man's death, which I guess is what it was supposed to be. And even there, I felt like it was diminished somewhat by the fact that he basically just dies in a normal adventure story that could have taken place in any of the other Iron Mans. Also, final critique. I don't feel the necessity to have a giant battle with all of the people of every movie. I didn't like it at the end of Aquaman. I don't like it here.
Pause. What? Why are we here? Why are we here right now?
You brought us here. What the fuck you mean?
Went the
video. Hold up. This made sense until he said what he just said. He said, have a fight scene with everybody in this universe. Just, nigga, this is Avengers Endgame. What did you think this was gonna be? What?
You brought us here, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
Spider-Man ain't get no fight scene.
Anyway, I think that's enough of Ben Shapiro. He got like 50 seconds left. Let me.
We might as well finish it, thug through it.
In fact, the battle was much more interesting when it was just a couple of people fighting before all of these things show up. Before Doctor Strange unleashes the beast and all these people come walking through back from the dead. It felt throughout the movie like there were no stakes. And this is my big problem. I didn't get anything that I thought was really unexpected. I felt like they deliberately lowered the stakes, not heightened the stakes, with that decision that I referred to about Iron Man. I felt like it was blasé and bland. I didn't feel like anyone was really in any danger, and even Iron Man's death is sort of inevitably foreshadowed by what happens to the Hulk when he puts on the gauntlet. So I wish I had liked the movie more, since I spent 3 hours of my life on it and $50. The tickets for IMAX were expensive, man. But I will say that I understand why people enjoyed it if you're a super fan, but I'm not going to. But I am not up with the "this is great."
Exactly. I understand because you're a super fan.
All right. All right. So we finished that off, that travesty. Any final thoughts on that? Any final thoughts? Oh, my nigga, Truth is here. Truth, can you speak, nigga? Are you alive?
Yeah.
Okay, Truth is here. All right. So that's good because we're gonna move right into the hip hop shit. But yeah, go ahead, Mo. Any final thoughts on this video? Ben Shapiro's thoughts on the Avengers Endgames? Any valid points that he brought up?
I knew your political takes were trash, but now you terrible at comic book movie reviews too, man. Damn.
Shit. So I guess not. Let's move right into your boy Joyner.
Oh, thank God.
Let's move right into your boy Joyner Lucas. So Joyner Lucas dropped a video called Devil's Work. And I haven't seen the video yet, so I don't really know what it's about.
The devil is alive.
I haven't watched it either.
Yeah, so nobody here has watched it, so we're going to go ahead and watch it together. Why did that sound afflicted when I said it?
Do you, man?
Afflicted, mouthed it, man. Fucking. Anyway, let's get right into this video here. Let's see. Any thoughts? Well, matter of fact, before I even start, any thoughts on? Any thoughts on Joyner Lucas right now before we get into this?
Top one in the game right now.
Stop it. Stop.
I guess not.
Don't say that stupid.
Somebody debate me. I dare him to.
This nigga said that. This nigga said Joyner Lucas was better than JID. Like, come on, bro. How the fuck?
Jed is nice, but Joyner better.
No.
In Joyner's defense, Jed do not be talking about shit. The nigga goes zoinkity.
Jed don't talk about shit.
Like, zoinkity. Hey, shit, that's a good song.
Hold
That's
on.
a good song.
JID, Zoinky. Ain't that the nigga with the Last Ride song?
No, he got a song called Zoinkers or something like that.
No, that's Boogie. That's Boogie. Wait. JID the
Last Ride song, I think.
Yeah, JID is Rum
about shit, but he
what's that Rum song? Yeah.
I think it's
Working Out.
51 or some shit.
Rum 51. Yeah.
Work it out, like nigga, like I'm listen.
Good.
Yo, no, that nigga
Fuck out of
JID,
here.
that nigga JID got hella content. You stupid? Y'all
Stupid
niggas listen-
damn.
Rapping about
Yeah.
that.
Nobody said it was. Who said it was trash?
No. Y'all saying JID ain't got no substance, but Joyner got
Who
more
said?
substance.
Well,
in
that
it.
was truth. It wasn't
Who
me.
said that's bullshit?
Yeah, I said that shit.
What?
Nigga, don't be listening.
What?
I don't agree
I'm
with that
right,
statement.
bitch. What you mean? What?
Even in that Rum song, there's lots of shit in there. Lots of little nuggets of information in there, man. Yeah, his rhyme style is way more complex than Joyner Lucas. That's why
It's
you can't
not
catch
complex. He's just talking a lot, bro. Logic been doing that for so long, and niggas.
No,
ain't fucking
don't compare Logic.
True. Tell
Logic
him
is
again.
good too. Look,
outta
they
here,
both
bro.
good. It's just Logic don't be saying shit. Joyner though. I mean,
Nigga
Jid don't be saying-
bullshitting, bro.
Oh, that
Joyner is
nigga.
the better.
Oh yeah. By the way, that nigga Mo went to sleep. That's fine. All right.
Sleep is for the weak.
So yeah, Mo is absent now. We just got us four niggas in here. Let's get right into the video.
Hold on. Hold on. Pause it real quick.
You see the goat right there?
Jesus? What the fuck you talking about?
Who's he talking about?
I saw Trump.
I knew you was gonna say. I knew that's where he was going with it. You goddamn Sambo eggplant, nigga.
Chill, man. Dang.
Well, why you call him an egg?
Hey.
Hey, all you want to do is slander me, Bush, but you want me on your side.
Hold on, let me get some real information. Oh my god. So Joyner's new album gonna be called ADHD apparently, and that's why you see the whole ADHD in the title and ADHD on his shirt and shit like that.
He started a controversy for them views. Okay.
Is he talking about like the ADHD and how black kids get forced in those
we don't know his album.
pills and shit?
His album ain't dropped yet.
I don't. Okay, let's play the video. Fuck it, we'll see.
Bush, the nigga didn't even know what racism was. Like, how, you think the nigga gonna be talking about that?
He knew what racism was. He just couldn't explain himself.
Oh shit!
I'm like, you don't know what it is, man. Come on.
I mean, what is it, honestly?
Father, forgive me. I'm staring at this Bible as I keep glancing. Dear Lord, I got questions and I need answers. Trying to understand your vision, all I see is damage. Just a bunch of dead bodies in the street camping. A bunch of lost souls on their feet standing. We supposed to be your children, I thought we family. You supposed to be my father, bro. I need answers. We don't need to die young, we just need chances. Tired of living on the edge, so we keep scrambling. Trying to talk to these strippers, but they keep dancing. We just want me number one like Steve Francis. Bow our head, say a prayer, now the seeds planted. Everywhere I turn, I'm seeing MCs vanish. Lot of good niggas gone, I don't understand it. Lot of families lost and they seeds stranded. I ain't trying to disrespect you, I just need answers. I know you watching us from heaven thinking who to save. Cherry picking who should go next and who should stay. I'd be on my way to heaven if I knew the way. And bring back every good nigga you choose to take. They say you never wrong, but you done made a few mistakes. Cause you taking the wrong niggas, maybe you should trade.
All right, let me stop it right there. I do want to point out that this shit, I think I put it in the.
Switch it over. Rap, crazy. He had bumping little.
Wait, what happened? What happened? Oh shit!
I pause. I think this shit is so much like that Hobson song, man. Ill Mind 7 or whatever the fuck it's called.
I'm saying, and that shit's better than this already. Like, what the fuck?
Yo,
like,
I ain't never not gave a
ain't
fuck
nobody
that
bumping
hard in
Hobson
my
in
life.
it,
God.
the Hobson 7 is better. We're gonna listen to this after. Watch.
Yeah, I'll play it for niggas to a little bit of that shit. But let's continue. Any other thoughts? Any thoughts on this shit so far?
Bro, he said he's trying to be number one like Steve Francis. If that ain't a bar, oh Lord.
Y'all fuck with that beat drop, man?
No, nigga.
That shit was kind of underwhelming, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
How about you, Truth? You fucking with this song so far, nigga?
No.
Yo.
Nigga got ABC bars and shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Give us 2 pop back and take that nigga shook. Let the legend resurrect.
Okay, actually, I do have a comment.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said I do have a comment. If you want to pause that joint real quick.
I'll pause.
It's ironic how in a song about how much he wishes people with all these like qualities and shit that we should value or past, he's sitting here rapping and not contributing shit to his medium. Like he's seeming more like on the side of the second niggas he be talking about.
Yo. No comment.
No comment.
Fine though, nigga not lying.
Screaming thug life in every different hood. If only you can bring him back, Lord, I wish you would. Give us Biggie, give us Pun, give us Triple X. Take that nigga Trump with you, that's a bigger threat. There's too much power for a coward with no intellect. That's a bigger with a collar, there's a disconnect. Niggas dying, mama crying, grandma need a tissue. Niggas shooting up a church, now I need a pistol. All them niggas still living.
Hold on. Pause real quick.
All right, go ahead.
Does this nigga sound like Meek to me? Am I tripping?
Yeah,
like,
no, it did.
Kind of the way he flowing.
Yeah, it did. It sound kind of Meekish. Yeah. That's how Meek Mill get started. Yeah. Reverend
niggas, man.
About to tear it up there.
But
I Chasers, man. That nigga Meek was.
Yeah, I do. I can see how this video can become controversial because it's got a lot of people in there that SJWs don't really fuck with, like XX. And I think later on, even Tupac, people trying to bring up Tupac old past about the rape allegations and shit like that. So there may be controversy surrounding the people that he has in the video.
Yeah, but he didn't rape her though.
I mean,
alleged.
Oh.
That ain't no alleged. He left the room.
Alleged.
Y'all some simp.
But how you take a leader, then you take a leader with you. I ain't trying to disrespect, just need a meter with you. I ain't trying to overstep, just want to reason with you. Give us back our loved ones and take the evil with you. Send them suckers straight to hell, they don't need a vigil. I need you to give us back Martin Luther. Take Martin Shkreli. Give us back Malcolm. Take R. Kelly.
Chill.
Get that boy's life back.
Okay, all right.
What's up with R. Kelly, man?
You said what's wrong with R. Kelly?
No, I said what's up, man. Why you gotta get taken out?
This is your top one, nigga. This is your top nigga. Come on,
yes,
bro.
Yes, sir.
Look, man. Look. Like I said, this video is gonna be controversial depending on what side of the fence you on, because he kind of like with the XX and the Tupac shit, and then people like y'all niggas that fuck with R. Kelly, and he said take R. Kelly.
So. I ain't say I messed with R. Kelly. I'm just saying we ain't got to tear another black man down. That's all.
Come on, we've been doing that shit for years, man. Why
I gotta co-sign it? Why stop it? You see this? You ain't no SJW, man.
Stop, Bush. Come on, man.
You a fake woke black.
I'm a fake woke black, nigga. Bobby Trizzle said this is a meme video. I mean, it might be, man.
It basically is. At
And
this point.
Man, life is a meme.
And he's essentially clout chasing with this video because a lot of
Man,
what?
no.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
tired of people saying that.
no. Look,
Anybody? What you mean? So when Kendrick shout out Malcolm X and them, that's clout chasing too?
He picking out all the people that mostly people don't fuck with. Talking about bring back Tupac, bring back Biggie, put Suge back
Like,
over
he's
there.
literally just saying, it's like when niggas say, "Hey, is there anyone else?" and they say some real obvious shit that everyone else thinks.
I mean, it's everybody thinking it, but nobody's saying it. We need somebody to say it.
Nobody. I don't say the sky is blue every 3 minutes because niggas know that shit.
I mean, that's debatable now. The sky is not blue.
Oh my
God.
That's
the kind of nigga we
Keep this
talking
nigga
about. All right.
I don't like when people say dumb facts. That's not true.
All right. Let's keep the video playing.
Take Eric Holder, give us Eric right back. I'm sending you this message, Lord. I hope you hit me right back. They say I'm on the wrong train. I know I'm on the right track. Cause Trayvon gone and all he did was try to fight back. Zimmerman
okay, yeah.
Free, we don't like that. Why you take our mothers from us? Fathers and our sisters and our cousins from us. Got these children getting murdered while they double dutching. Wonder why the fuck you take Nipsey Hussle from us. Damn, you took a true king, a true brother from us. This a fucking marathon, but they running from us. Now everybody got guns, niggas up to something. And every gangster wanna prove that they tough or something. You know it's not fair, tell the truth. I've been in my feelings too. But if you truck, I'ma tell.
Pause real quick.
Yo.
Oh man, this is good.
Out chasing, bruh.
Everybody that makes a song is clout chasing.
Hold on. If we gonna call out the game for damn near writing love letters to Nipsey Hussle every day, we're gonna talk about
Oh yeah. Game on that.
Yo.
Game on that early career Drake shit with Aaliyah. Like the nigga's just on that person's dick too much.
Why he at this point I don't think he's showing love. I think he just.
But this is essentially what the Game career has been. He has been he's been shouting niggas' names out in all his songs. Like this is what the Game is.
Just because a nigga been doing something repeatedly does not make it right for that nigga to keep doing it. Like get the fuck out. Come on.
It ain't gotta be right or wrong, but this is who he is. Like that's who he is. So we can't call it out now. Like come on.
I'm cool with name dropping, man. I don't know why anybody else is not.
That nigga Game's career is name dropping.
Yeah.
Drop 50 people in a 2-minute verse.
Bro, Game did that in a 15-minute song.
Hey.
300 bars and running.
He did. Yo,
Come on, man. It's just 4 minutes.
Game at least is talking to people that know that nigga, bro. He talking to R. Kelly. R. Kelly don't give a fuck about Jordan.
Well, he ain't talking to him. He's saying take him.
Yeah, and I mean, I can see the controversy in this video. To even wish death upon people, that's kind of controversial.
Yeah, even though Bush just told me to kill myself.
Hey, I ain't nobody though, so it don't matter. Yeah, I was being controversial. I'm being edgy, man. I'm an edgelord, nigga.
You out here got 1 million views, man. Told me to take myself out.
Motherfucker lawyer.
Yeah, and the Emmett Till and the Dylan, this shit getting kind of cringy, man. I'm gonna use their word.
Oh no, don't say it. Don't say it.
At least take Dylan Roof. At least take James Holmes. I ain't even mad at that. Just bring back Whitney and give us Michael Jackson back. Feds want me.
Ooh, controversy. Okay, so that
Whitney was on crack, but we ain't gonna talk.
So what? Damn, ain't no wrong with smoking crack, man. Shit.
Tell him again, Bush. Tell him again.
The views expressed by individual members of the podcast are not the views of the
top
entire
one crack enthusiast right here.
I mean, I ain't no crack enthusiast, man. What I'm saying, man.
Well, I am.
Smoking crack don't make you evil. Stop it.
Exactly.
That's what Hillary was thinking when she called those fucking predators, man.
Y'all drink a little bit, we do a little crack. What's the problem?
When have you ever seen a crackhead commit mass genocide or shoot up a bunch of people? Never, man. They just want crack, man. I mean, sometimes they kill for crack, but those are small, petty crimes. I mean, they're not petty, but those small crimes, man. They killing dealers, man. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. Anyway.
I feel you. Don't worry. I feel you.
That's right, Morgan. I feel you too, nigga.
That's a bad sign.
All homo.
Yes, homo.
Stop saying yes, homo. It's all homo. That's the term.
No, I say yes, homo, nigga.
You don't flip it, though. Because then you have to flip homo, too.
No. Yes, homo.
Yes.
To slam it down. Ain't no justice for Sandra Bland. We up like a sailing fan. Lord, if you listen, I'm just looking for a hand in hand. Take out the fuck niggas and give us back our fam again. drowning in my tears, trying to pray for something. Wonder why you give us life for you to take it from us. Wonder why you give us family, then erase it from us. Maybe, hopefully.
I have no, I mean, because it's people that pass away, so I understand the church part, yeah. Because he's making a prayer to God, so he's talking to God essentially. So
yeah,
so he's questioning God's decisions in
church.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty on the nose. I like Hobson shit in the desert better because I mean,
Hobson does this shit way better. Oh my god, I never thought I would ever say that shit. But...
all right, we gonna see this Hobson video. All right,
okay.
You can have a conversation with us. Maybe I'm just probably tripping because I need a hug. The hood can't find jobs, now we need a plug. Everybody and their mama trying to be a thug. I don't go to church because I'm afraid of being judged. I've been staring at the ceiling as I lie in bed. Watching niggas follow
nigga, you in a church.
I give us back the real ones and try again. Or maybe take them niggas that deserve to die instead. Tommy Lauren run her mouth and then she get defensive. Lauren Ingram laughing at death and disrespecting.
Oh, okay.
I really feel like you should teach them stupid hoes a lesson. Either that or give us back somebody who deserved the blessings.
Stupid hoes.
I fuck with them bars. Them bars kind of juicy on the end, nigga. Come on.
Say it again.
Say it again. Let's go, Joyner.
A bunch of names that I forgot to mention. Cost too much to pay attention and it got expensive. Father, forgive me for I know not what I do, and now I'm reaching out to you, hoping you hear me and return the message. I know that you got our back and that you're not against us. Or maybe you just love it, so you doing shit to test us. I just kind of thought that you would do more to protect us.
Oh, hold up. Nigga lost points. White Jesus now. Get the fuck out of here, dog. I mean, he is. You're right. I can't hate on that.
Yeah,
you know, he is.
Point added.
For being bold. Okay, I fuck with it, bro. Okay.
They say the good die young, and I ain't on the guest list. I've been drinking, Lord, forgive me as my blood racing. I don't know what I'm thinking, I'm just frustrated. I don't mean to question you, I'm just confused. I don't know what else to do. I've been patient and it sucks waiting. Took my mans from me, that forever hurts. But putting the blame on you, that'll never work. I know this ain't your fault, it's the devil's work. Devil's work.
Man.
Oh,
Add
a
it to the
twist.
playlist.
A plot twist. Okay. I mean, I guess we could have guessed that with the with the title.
The title.
But,
No, that ain't it. We had to figure it out.
Yeah, we had. You're right.
It's all about the journey.
You're right.
That journey was fucking garbage.
Now this is like
Bro, you bumping Little Beeper. Come on now.
Nigga, you
Lil
like
B is a god.
Little B not even top 50.
Oh shit. Okay. So how y'all feel about the video overall? The plot twist at the end.
Well, he pretty much didn't move. He was in the church the whole time, but I like the song.
Okay.
Shit trash.
I don't know about the video.
Doo-doo butter, dog.
All right. So why do y'all feel like it's trash? Is it all the reasons we gave in between the during the reaction?
Nigga was pandering. Nigga was name dropping. Yeah, it was just way too on.
Hold on, Stone. Do you like when Drake doesn't name drop?
When Drake doesn't name drop?
Yeah, he do subliminals. You like that more?
There's a difference. No, hold on. There's a clear difference. This nigga's obviously name dropping to get that attention through this song. This nigga not saying this shit. Oh my god.
He dissing the president. Who else he dissed?
Who else?
All the shooters, all the mass killers. You saying, you know, right? Don't diss the shooters, right? You should pump them up.
Bro, you don't get points for obvious, man. You just don't.
You don't get points for rapping.
I mean, the only bold thing he had in there was the I would say the bold. I guess the bold shit you would say is Michael Jackson, XX, and all of that shit. Being on their side, I guess. 'Cause a lot of people hate them.
all
right
the
now.
Fox hosts too.
I mean, everybody hates Fox hosts. Everybody is in the rap industry, so that's not really bold.
What rapper do it said dropping names though?
What? Who? What you said?
What rapper is dropping names?
I mean, the game just the game made long ass posts calling them sluts and shit. Same
Yeah, he
with,
made an Instagram
T.I.
post.
I mean, making a song take time, nigga. Look.
He ain't supposed to be lyrical. He should be able to do it.
But yeah, so you fuck with the song Morgan, so it's what I'm getting from all of this.
Add it to the playlist, yes sir.
Morgan is a known Joyner dick rider, dog. So
I can be objective too, unlike y'all.
What? So you saying that all this name dropping? You said that wasn't pandering whatsoever. This whole fucking song, dog.
I mean, you can say it like that.
Look,
but does that make it bad?
Yeah.
Nah, that's a good question, man. Does pandering make anything bad? Some people like
Hell
being
yeah, it
pandered
makes
to,
it bad
right?
There's a market for everything, Stone.
Because pandering means that you're not genuinely feeling saying this shit because the mass majority of voices have been saying this. He's not saying this shit just because.
But it's not majority of rappers saying it though. He don't like one of the only people that said him, Kendrick maybe, J. Cole, and even them don't even drop names. Well, except Kendrick maybe.
This ain't. I mean, this ain't just name dropping though. This nigga made essentially a whole video.
Hey, we got like bars ain't in it.
That's some bars here and there, but like
the bars that he dropped.
Like it. I felt like him putting even putting Aaliyah in there. Then he put Selena in there. And fucking brought up Emmett Till, Trayvon Martin. He just like trying to have his cake and eat it too. Like instead of
who wouldn't want to have that cake and eat it too?
Hold on.
Instead of focusing on certain things, he like just put everything in here. It's like, I don't fuck with.
Speaking of that, listen, like the main problem with something like this, like for example, Hobson is corny, right?
Yeah.
But he's saying shit with a point. What is the point of this song, my nigga?
Please, yeah.
What does this actually do for anybody? It doesn't inspire any of the greats that he's talking about. It doesn't help elevate the people that he's wishing death upon. All this shit does is leave us at like a standstill. We're just like, damn, man, every good person's gone, and every person that's still here is terrible or some shit. Like not like necessarily in that vein.
Like, what does it mean? Yeah, what at the end of
and especially if you take into consideration his own place in this list, he's not even infamous. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's definitely not a great, and he's not even infamous. The nigga has no place among what he's talking about, and he's not even providing insight. Like, he's just rapping like a fan, bro. That shit is not tough.
A fan of who?
Yeah.
Just a fan, like that's some fan shit. Just say, oh man, I wish y'all like he sound like an outsider right now. Even when he's talking about rappers, he's rapping about his colleagues, his predecessors, like an outsider, my nigga. That's some of the stupidest shit, in my opinion, as someone who likes making music from time to time. To just, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you part of it, to make yourself seem like you're not part of it, that shit just makes you look dumb, bro.
I got the lyrics pulled up, by the way. Let me.
Some people are those loner types.
Did y'all want me to go ahead and play this Hobson video?
Oh yeah, play that shit. Play that heat.
Nah, but go ahead.
He said nah.
Give the proper example of how you supposed to do this fucking song. And even
this young trash stone, just know.
You going? I already know. You know you're gonna hate on it because.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
Play that shit.
This worse than Bass God, then whew.
I just want to point out that I don't really fuck with this song either, but I'm gonna play it.
Talk about filler. How long till the song start?
Yeah. Fuck anybody I might alarm. Life is a tour, I sit and ride along. Taking some notes and then I write the songs. I'm staring down the road, my life is gone. Is this where I belong? Is it wrong to not believe in right and wrong? My mental state is fucking me up and I cried upon while asking you for some.
Okay, y'all didn't even catch what he just did y'all?
No.
Nah.
This nigga is putting himself in the song, my nigga, as a person. So even when he takes the time to start talking shit about everybody else's life decisions, which he'll do, it's Hobson, he's still in that shit. And I don't think he used to do that as much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to put yourself in a piece, because you're human as everybody else. I don't know. I'm not trying to make it big.
Well, I mean, Jordan made a whole album about him being a bad person.
I mean, I think Hobson, I think he's done this before. And like, if you... I know in the recent Ill Minds, he talk about his child and shit, but I think he's done this before. I don't know.
Of course, he's gonna put himself in the song. The song is titled "Ill Mind of Hobson."
God, this nigga hating.
Jordan's song was Devil's Work. Why would
each Ill Mind is a different topic at hand? So this one he hasn't done the topic.
But yeah, we can keep going. My bad. Just want to say.
Keep going. Yeah.
With the way that I've been living lately, if I died right now, you turn the fire on. Sick of this bullshit. Niggas call me a sellout, cause I hopped in Christianity so strongly, then I fell out. Now I'm avoiding questions like a scared dog with his tail down. Feeling so damn humiliated cause they looking at me like I'm hellbound. What story should I tell now? I'll just expose the truth. I'm so close to the fucking edge, I should be close to you. But who the fuck are you? You never show the proof. And I'm only fucking human, yo, what am I supposed to do? There's way too many different religions with vivid descriptions, begging all fucking men and women to listen. I can't even beat my dick without getting convicted. These ain't wicked decisions, I got different intentions. I've been itching to get it, I've been giving assistance, but the whole fucking system is twisted. Now I'm dealing with this backlash because Marcus isn't a Christian, and I've been told that my sinful life is an addiction, but I can't buy it. It's just too hard to stand beside it. I need an answer, humans can't provide it. I look at the earth, the sun, and I can tell a genius man designed it. It's truly mind-blowing, I can't deny it. Is heaven real? Is it fake? Is it really how I fantasize it? Where's the Holy Ghost at? How long does it take a man to find it? My mind's a non-stop tape playing and I can't rewind it. You gave me the Bible and expect me not to analyze it? I'm frustrated and you provoked it. I'm not reading that motherfucking book because a human wrote it. I have a fucking brain, you should know it. You gave it to me to think, to avoid every useless moment. It was a mission that I had to abort, cause humans be lying with such an inaccurate source. It's gonna be hard to put me back on the course. Next Jehovah's.
Join him, man. That nigga lying, man. No, it's fucking with you.
Oh, is this just the watch through, or can I still talk? Because I had some shit to say.
I mean, no, you could talk. You could talk in between. Just you gotta stop the video because people want to hear the song and whatnot. So just stop the video if you have an opinion. But
Bro,
this is way more emotional than the Joyner song, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, what you gonna say?
True? We're more in depth too. Go ahead.
Okay, bro. First of all, shout out to Stone for even suggesting this because this shit is actually perfect, my nigga. I know the point of the last song wasn't about religion for Joyner Lucas,
yeah.
But the way that these two things are connected, I think we can use to differentiate the two artists, my nigga. Because look, Hobson is using music, right? And God is really like faith is really a reflection of the person that believes because we can't really confirm it, so it's just what. Either through how you're raised or whatever, it's just what comes to you. Hobson is somebody that's trying to find himself through God, and he's expressing his inability to find himself through the music. Okay, Joyner Lucas is trying to use God as a tool to reflect how he views the world. You know what I'm saying? So his disapproval of people should be manifested in their knowledge. I don't like these people, so they shouldn't exist. Is the theme of Joyner Lucas's song.
Yeah.
And I like these other people, so they should exist. And what's crazy is when you're idolizing people that you've never met, especially when they're dead and they're no longer speaking for themselves, that shit as well is also double stupid because good chances are they might not even fuck with you if they were still alive.
I mean that's that's true, but that's not a thing that we should harp on, whether or not that person would fuck with them or not. I just didn't like his execution of the shit, and it seemed like it just I didn't fuck with it. I'm trying to find the words to best describe how I feel about that video, how I feel about Joyner Lucas' work in general.
I feel like in that because I like some of Joyner. I ain't gonna completely shit on that nigga because there are some songs that I feel like he does execute very well. I feel like for the one that we just watched, my biggest issue is it felt very disingenuous. It felt like the nigga was just making the shit
factual
to get that viral reaction because that's what Jordan does. His marketing strategy is to get that big viral hit. So I remember at one point he was doing a whole bunch of remixes of the biggest songs out there.
Yeah, that's his whole career. Yeah,
Wayne do that too though.
The only thing is,
not to the level of Joyner. That's his whole career, though.
What Wayne has done way more songs than Joyner has.
Wayne dropped whole mixtapes and actually can rap. With Joyner,
you saying Joyner can't rap?
That nigga's hit or miss.
Doesn't have a rap career. He has a social media career.
Damn.
I don't know about that.
Damn.
But nah, I feel like this is coming from at least from Hobson. This is coming from a place where you can tell that he's detailing his thoughts about his relationship and his religion versus Joyner just like wherever focus that he was on the topic, he was just name dropping. He was being cringy. He was trying to.
He talk about Joyner's obvious. We all thought what Hobson thought too. You don't want to listen to the Bible because the man wrote it. We all said that before.
No, it's not as prevalent as you might think.
Well, I know there's gonna be people out there that's believing no matter what. I'm talking about all of us that thinks in here.
There's people that disbelieve no matter what. Like they look. Hold on, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I had to finish chewing. No, look,
Morgan.
you know what's crazy? I'm eating during the podcast as always. Y'all notice I just had a big bite in the meantime.
No,
Look,
it's cool. It's cool.
what's crazy is, right, even if you say believing for no reason is crazy, and there's plenty of people that do that. There's plenty of people that once they have that questioning, right, and you have that initial loss of faith that comes with realism of realizing like, hey, this shit is flawed, right? A lot of people stop believing in general. And that shit isn't the answer as well. Because what you're hearing Hobson doesn't stop not believing. He's questioning his faith.
He's
Those are two
questioning
very
it.
different things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know. I'm listening to the song just like y'all.
All
I mean,
right,
I
play
was
it.
saying that for the audience, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
Shit, man.
we can keep playing.
Was witness to you on my porch, that's where I'm slamming the door. A lot of folks believe it though, but I'm not surprised. Humans are fucking dumb, still thinking that Pac's alive. I ain't trying to take your legacy and torture down. I'm just saying, I ain't heard shit from the horse's mouth. Just sheep always telling stories of older guys who were notarized by you and you finally vocalized. Now I'm supposed to bow my head and close my eyes and somehow let the Holy Ghost arise? Sounds like a fucking poltergeist. Show yourself, and the boom is done. Every rumor's gone, I no longer doubt the shit. You're the
You see how he's refusing to idolize past people, and then you got Jordan Lucas just sucking dick. Like, not saying that wrong sucking dick. It's just
Hey, clearly, you know, you idolize Jesus. Relax.
one. I'll admit that my sinful ways were stupid fun, and all my old habits can hop on top of a roof to plunge. I donate to a charity that could use the funds. Fuck the club instead of bitches, I'd hang with a group of nuns. And everyone I ran into would know what I came to do. I wouldn't take a step unless it was in the name of you. I hate the fact that I have to believe you haven't been chatting with me like you did Adam and Eve. And I ain't seen no fucking talking snake unravel from trees with an apple to eat. That shit never happens to me. I don't know if you do or don't exist. It's driving me crazy, send your condolences. This is me reaching to you, so don't forget. If hell is truly a pit of fire and I get thrown in it, I'ma probably regret the fact that I ever wrote this shit. My gut feeling says it's all fake. I hate to say it, but fuck it, shit, I done lost faith. This isn't a small phase, my perspectives all changed. My thoughts just keep picking shit apart all day. And in my mind, I make perfect sense. If you aren't real, then all my prayers aren't worth a cent. That will mean that I can just make up what my purpose is. And I can sit in church and just say fuck in the services. Man, what if Jesus was a facade? Then that would mean the government's God. I feel like they've been brainwashing us with a lot.
I'm
I
feeling Hobson right now, bro.
How did that make sense?
That nigga's like,
How is the government God?
The nigga didn't even get to finish his bar. Like, goddamn.
I mean, true.
My bad, my bad.
I mean, it make complete sense, you know? Like, if you believe that there's a God and then suddenly there is no God, then who is really in control of your life? Who dictates what happens in your life and the chances and opportunities that you have as a human being? And the next step is the government. So I don't see how y'all niggas can get that shit.
I'm gonna say the government's God when I'm dead.
Shut up.
This nigga missing the fucking
It's not
point.
about.
How am I gonna Stone? How am I gonna figure out who is God until I'm dead?
But that's the point.
That's the point, nigga.
So I'm gonna die. Say, okay, there's no God. You know what? The government was taking care of me the whole time. They're God.
But
That's what I'm saying.
what do you think? Okay, Morgan, what do you think about until then? That's the point. You're living your life before you die, right? While you're living your life, God is still supposed to be present in it. So if you're not seeing any evidence of the prototypical God, which is supposed to be, you know, that a higher power basically, and it's not necessarily the God that you read in the Bible or the Quran or whatever, then or Allah. My
And
bad,
how
it's
is
not the
your
same
life?
thing.
I got my kufi on.
Okay, I'm saying though, if that higher power isn't manifesting itself in your day-to-day life before you die, that position though of someone that oversees your life is still valid. It's just not that, you know, supernatural power. It's instead a real life.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, I understand what he's saying, but I was talking about like when I die and all that.
I mean, God is more than just when you die though. Like it's like morals. Like morals don't matter when you die. So why does religion have that? If it was just about the afterlife, then you wouldn't have all that structure, all those parables and shit.
Would they have to would heaven have the same exact morals?
That's a good question. It really depends on what your belief is. I don't think like Buddhists, for example, I don't think there's necessarily a heaven. Some of those Asian religions, it's more just like it's more
Like
so focused on, you know, philosophy and how to live. But yeah, I just really felt that like I don't know, like that's something like that's a unique thought, bro. Like that's not something that's not cliche, bro. That's like
that's not
I could
something
believe
that's
a
already
person coming to.
I wouldn't go as far as say that's a unique thought. Many people have thought that before.
I didn't say he's the only person.
Not
I didn't say it's an original thought. I said
not to
it's
that
unique.
point.
I
Yeah,
mean,
like,
I guess
not something
I
that's already
understand him thinking that.
go
How
change
many
it.
people
That's
have
what I'm
said the government is God, Bush?
saying.
I heard people say the
I mean, a
government
lot
is
of
evil.
people have
All
said
that.
that shit. Dog.
What kind of people? Though?
Niggas with
What
tinfoil
kind of
hats.
people?
It's like niggas with tinfoil hats.
Oh damn! I was trying to. I was
That's
trying
woke
to.
right there, Stone. You
I was trying to be like, oh, philosophers, but yeah, crazy niggas be thinking good thoughts too. So
Yeah, autism is a choice. You heard it here first.
I mean, a
Autism.
lot of people,
Kanye.
a lot of people say it without actually saying it. So, I mean,
Oh, so the rapper right here is saying stuff that people think. Oh, okay.
man, Maury, what the
I
fuck
mean,
you
it's a
talking
difference
about?
when it's an ideology and just a statement. Like you could do something with that thought. You can't do nothing with bring Pac back. Pac is not coming back. Y'all
I mean,
niggas
that's
need to get that
debatable,
through y'all
sir.
head.
Oh my
All right, let me
God.
press play if y'all done. We done here.
Yeah.
I can
And
see
shit.
the church and just say fuck in the services. Man, what if Jesus was a facade? Then that would mean the government's God. I feel like they've been brainwashing us with a lot, so much that we don't even notice that we're stuck in the box.
There we
Man,
go.
everything is what if. Why is it always what if? Planet Earth, what if? The universe, what if? My sacrifice, what if? My afterlife, what if? Every fucking thing that deals with you is fucking suspect. I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done.
That nigga called God gay, man.
This is my fucking life and I'm living it. I'm having fun.
You're just yelling at me.
If you really care for me, prove that I need to live carefully. But I'll be damned if I put my own pleasure aside for an afterlife that isn't even guaranteed. We are you, and you're us. Stop playing games. My life's all I got, and heaven is all in my brain. And when I feel I'm in hell, my ideas are what get me through pain. Do as you please, and I'll just do me. I'm a human, I'll stay in my lane. Ill mind.
He was definitely more aggressive than Jonah.
Oh my God.
Morgan.
What?
Morgan, hey, I need you to be honest with me right now.
I just said he was more aggressive than Jonah. What's the problem?
Calm down. You're hating, dog. You're hating.
How's that hating?
Hater.
You're hating.
You
bro.
a
So
hater.
saying he was more aggressive is not a fact.
That's some shit soccer moms say when their kids get beat. Well, he certainly played harder. Bitch, you lost. It's okay.
I mean, I think it's a better song too.
Yeah,
See, there we go. We're making some progress,
What's the problem with me saying actual things that happened? He was more aggressive, which is true, but I'm hating.
Okay, Mario. So in that vein, though, what's your thoughts, bro? Give us your whole thoughts.
I definitely like his conversation with God more than Joyner's, because Joyner was just talking about like specific events.
Yeah,
Hobson was actually conversation.
I mean, he
or more so yelling at him.
I mean, it's the difference between somebody that's doing some
that's usually how
self-reflection and
conversations
somebody
with God
that's
go.
saying what everybody else is saying.
And even that aspect.
I think we all have thought before what Hobson has said too. So
Yeah.
In some veins, but that's the thing with like, okay, so I think I've had this conversation with Bush before about how reading philosophy or like just in general reading helps you like put thoughts and ideas in words, like gives you a frameworks for things you feel. So even like Socrates, like a lot of shit that I've read from Socrates, bro, it's gonna sound stupid saying this, but I'm gonna say like that shit don't really impress me. Like that shit seem obvious. Like, oh, if you divide a half by a half by a half, it's infinite. Like, no, it's not, nigga. It's just smaller pieces. But the shit sounds tough because you don't necessarily think those ways, and it helps you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sheds light on things that we experience. So when people do that, especially in art, which is kind of the point, of people just being themselves in ways that you can't be yourself because you don't really know how to express yourself like that. Just that's the real talent of an artist is self-expression. Even if they don't portray themselves, that's what draws us to them. Jordan Lucas is not expressing shit. He's just making Twitter comments like on beat.
Black Twitter, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody got to throw race into it.
Hey.
Oh my god.
Race is mother.
That's main base come from.
Yo. But there's some controversial stuff in the video, and the only criticisms for this Hobson video is that it's not necessarily complex, but it really doesn't have to be. It's the way he chose to express himself. So it can be
my favorite
Hobson was definitely more. This your favorite one?
I just watching it, like, especially after what Jordan Lucas made me appreciate Hobson.
Bad, bro.
That tend to happen when I listen to Cole. I appreciate Kendrick more.
Why you gotta do this to me,
God.
bro? It's like you know just how to piss me off, bro.
Hate it.
How am I hating my? We don't agree that Kendrick is better.
Kendrick
better be quiet.
Kendrick better than Cole? What you talking about?
Yeah, Kendrick being better than Cole.
Yeah, I feel like it. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
So what's wrong? Why y'all kind of attack me for saying facts?
I'm sorry.
No, nigga, you were not.
I say Hobson was aggressive. Oh, you hate him. What?
That was hating though. The way you brought that up at the end of the video.
Because he was yelling at me and I was getting shook.
That's what they say to the police when you get done arguing with your girl. He was aggressive.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Whoa.
Wait, let's move on.
You calling me a simp?
I mean,
hey, we got other shit to talk about. We got other shit to talk about.
Running.
Yeah, we got other shit to talk about. Let's jump right into it. What do y'all want to talk about next? Y'all want to jump on this Burger King shit?
King shit look interesting, I guess.
What the fuck?
Is that a dude or a girl?
That's a nigga, man. What the fuck wrong with you?
I don't know, man. It's a bunch of bald head chicks out here nowadays.
Morgan be falling for traps, dog.
Hey, listen, Bush was the one that threw up the traps. I ain't gay.
We don't call them traps, man. If y'all would watch the video,
Bush, you called them traps. You called them traps.
The title was "Are They Gay?" Traps.
Yeah, but that was the creator of the video, who is transgender, was making that joke or that meme to bring people into the video. You know, she was using their terminology, man.
I heard that.
Yeah, I had a thing on it.
Said what?
Look, my pronouns fucked up, man. Fuck y'all niggas, man.
Why can't you
I'm
just
trying.
call it?
Yeah.
My bad.
Demonetized.
Morgan, you don't get the fuck up out of here, dog. Damn.
Hey, we let loose.
Anyway,
gotta scrap this whole video now, dog.
Anyway, this is why we go to Burger King, man. When you're depressed and you need to get something in your belly, you go to Burger King sometimes, man. And Burger King acknowledges that people get emotional. They're no longer calling meals Happy Meals now. They got different expressions for their meals. Let's go ahead and watch this video.
Not everybody wakes up happy.
Laughing at
why is real? Hold on. Why is real world Nero? Why is I can't even say this shit.
This is fucking Burger King.
Why does he look like he just came off them little parties from the Matrix 1 with the bald heads and the tan shirts?
Exactly.
And them niggas just got out that bitch. Oh my god! But the Nebuchadnezzar looking ass nigga.
Let's rewind it back. That shit made me happy. What he said made me laugh.
His depression made you happy.
I want to know what he's sad about. That's
pain, Bush.
This is a terrible person.
Let's play.
Tell me this shit gonna go the way I think it is. All right, go ahead.
If he eat the burger and he smile, I'm
yeah. That's what I'm thinking, dog.
Sometimes you feel sad, scared, crappy. All I ask is that you let me feel my way.
They ask you how you're doing, you have to say fine because really they don't know.
You're really not fine. I love that meme.
Everybody wakes up unhappy. Not everybody wakes up happy. That shit, yo.
I'm like, yeah, that's that Jordan Lucas shit, bro. Fuck.
Wait, so happy, calling some shit a Happy Meal triggers people out now? Is that what we doing with this?
It's not being triggered. It's just counterculture.
How was Happy Meal? No, that ain't it.
Maybe I'm not happy when I get the meal, dog. Like that's what we going with.
Maybe because your fucking establishment cooks terrible fucking food.
And Burger King is the paragon of fucking quality, my nigga. They signature burger is just a bigger burger. That's it. They couldn't even add no toppings and no super ranch. It's just a bigger burger. And then the next 3 burgers are just more burgers on one burger. That's it. They got the Whopper 8 times with bacon.
Damn.
This is a shot at McDonald's. Instead of have it your way, is feel your way. I see what they do. I see what they do.
If they would have started playing some X, I would have been with it. But
they doing too much with that.
That you let me feel my way.
Feeling blue. Kinda it down. Can't wait to leave this closed-minded town.
Wait, is every
It's a
nigga
poem?
rapping? Yeah,
Oh,
it's a poem?
They got a beat and everything.
hold on, let it rock. Let it rock.
13
Let it rock.
Number 13 reasons why, nigga.
Oh shit.
Let
it rock.
Yeah, let's let it
Push,
rock.
let it rock for a minute.
My boss is such a freaking creep. I just told him to go himself.
That didn't rhyme.
I was just about to say that.
Go ahead, Emma Stone.
Uh-oh.
Don't disrespect the legend like that.
I can't believe my student loan. I'm never moving out of my parents' home.
Just got ghosted. Should've known.
This nigga mad because
Pretty
he got
sure
ghosted.
I'll end up alone.
Oh, he about to
They
kill
say I'm
himself.
too young to raise my baby girl.
Chill.
Take your opinions and suck it, world.
Oh no.
Through the whole phone.
What? Oh. Blue Mill, yes.
They say
It's-
yeah.
Mental health?
I'm tired of this. I'm tired.
Let's rewind it back. Okay, I'm gonna lower the volume. Lower the volume on y'all screen. We're gonna play it back and we're gonna do some. We're gonna talk about this shit. So how y'all feel about this shit right now?
Oh.
I'm so sick and
Obviously-
tired of being sick and tired.
Obviously, they're trying to get to a younger crowd, millennial crowd. Every actor in here is like at least mid-20s to 20s and stuff like that. So obviously, they're trying to go to
Hey, she in
a
high
lot
school.
of man, nigga. Like you weren't 18 in high school. Like what the fuck? Like
Nah, you said 20 something.
I said mid-20s, like teenage to mid-20s. You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
They
And
still say skank.
Morgan.
Morgan, you fucking hate me, dog.
This podcast doesn't allow questions. I forgot.
Morgan, it's a white school, dog. Like I don't know. Like come on, bro. That nigga wearing
See
a
the
bird.
brother right there in the background, you racist piece of trash.
I can't.
Go ahead, just go ahead.
You want to
Stop.
explain it, Morgan?
Finish your statement. So,
Yeah.
Jesus.
I can't finish my statement because this nigga Morgan knows. Go ahead, bro. Finish the statement up, man.
Let me see the boxes again. You go ahead, Stone.
But nah, obviously they're trying to focus on mental health because that's been like a big topic as of recent years, just because of suicide rates and teenagers is rising. So of course they're trying to market and pander to that crowd. So that's it, nigga. Like
Yeah, I agree with that.
Bush, what you think, bro?
All right, so this this commercial is cringy. If I can use the term.
Stop it, man. This is the second time and it still don't sound right.
Well,
You know, saying the word
she ain't lying.
I mean, it's like the beat in the background, the rhyming, and the ridiculous scenarios. It's
Like the nigga was about to off himself all over his girl ghosting him or some shit like that. Like,
and then what really drove me over the edge was I was okay with the I'm angry box or whatever, but the Yas box, nigga, what?
Yes. Yes.
Yas? What?
And hold on, the last one was DGAF, right?
Don't give a fuck box. Like,
Yeah.
what?
They really serving those out? I'm like, what's up? I don't know.
also, but there's also that idea. There's also that idea they're doing this shit on purpose because they know a whole bunch of people are gonna do this shit and they're gonna give more attention for it.
I've
So
been
you think
telling
that's
Bush
what they
about
probably
that
doing?
meme culture, bro. He not with it.
No
Yeah.
disrespect, but mental illness is popping now. So
That's
Oh.
a fact.
It's a fad, man.
you got to profit off of it. So
Look, man. I mean, yeah. People are gonna meme the shit out of this. I do like the sentiment. Feel your way. That's cool. But the boxes with this shit is like, no. I mean, the actual design of the boxes, that shit look cool. I fuck with that. How they look, but the words, the phrasing on it, it doesn't really hit with me. I don't really fuck with it like that. But I don't hate it. I just feel like it's really corny and cheesy, and it's cringy. Fuck it.
I got a question.
Yo,
my question is, who decides what box you get? Do you just go up and say, "Hey, give me a Yaz box, please"? Or just give it to you by themselves?
Is it like random, or do you pick the box you get? Yeah.
Because if so, there's gonna be some real overweight niggas just chilling minding their business with a Yaz box because they're from the Yaz getting clowned on, dog. Like, that's not right, bro.
I mean, I'm pretty sure since it's called Feel Your Way, you could choose which feeling you got, and then they give you a box, man.
What if the nigga gets the I don't give a fuck box and he robs the place, man?
Damn, man.
That's gonna be part of the suspect. I don't give a fuck.
How you feel, nigga? For real?
Right. A nigga just offs himself in the goddamn lobby and shit, man. What the fuck?
Bush, what the fuck?
Don't put that out there like that.
Look, man.
They're gonna write in their manifesto that off the top to do this shit, man. Look,
if they gonna meme it all the way, man.
How is offering yourself a meme?
Like that dude should have jumped off and said, "I don't give a fuck." Like, they should have went all the way with it, man.
Oh my god,
the realism, man. The realism, dog.
Y'all, that's something. Y'all talking about y'all don't want slavery relationships being shown, but y'all want to see a dude committing suicide.
It's just bad when you're trying to like be sincere and then you have multicolored boxes as the answer to people not feeling happy all the time. Like, those boxes have as much to do with people's feelings as the Happy Meal has to do with happiness.
Yeah, it's just fucking cardboard. Like, what are they gonna do with this campaign, this slogan? How, like, are they gonna donate money to mental institutions? Like, what is the purpose of this shit other than just a meme? And if it's just a meme, then I don't really fuck with it. So,
I mean, it came with a hashtag ready. Of course, it's a meme.
Why everything gotta have purpose, man?
What the fuck?
What? Hey, that shit offended me. I'm laughing, but I hate that.
Everybody wants something to be deep, and then gotta be some reasonings and all that. Man, I like surface level stuff sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's why you like Jordan Lucas, man.
Yeah, I need a solid artist like that.
It's Morgan saying stupid shit again, man.
Y'all in here watching goddamn twerk videos on Twitch and stuff.
Hey,
that's a purpose. There's a purpose to that shit. Don't
y'all watching trap videos.
That's not me. Shit. I wasn't involved.
Y'all watching Futa. But I can't listen to Joyner. I can't listen to Joyner.
That is Bush, dog. Don't put
well, you just saying stuff Bush does now, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know nothing else y'all two do except, you know.
I didn't even throw you under the bus, man. Why you calling me out?
Yes, you did. You call me a smooth brain every time you introduce
me. You're right.
Oh, they're already doing that shit. There's one on Twitter. It's a video of somebody spazzing out. Like, what mood meal did this customer eat? Hashtag feel your way.
What?
He got a cast on. He just talking shit. Probably how he got the cast.
Oh my god.
And this is a bigger issue that, like, a lot of people talk about, how they don't want.
Ooh, he knocked him out.
Wait, what are you looking at, nigga? What the fuck?
What?
I'm gonna drop the link. Go ahead.
Yeah, nigga, like, let us watch the shit too, nigga. Come on. But yeah, like, a lot of people complain about companies getting involved in this
because they don't want to actually give a fuck. They just trying to do this because it's a fad. We all know this. It's just like when Gillette did that the best
to be a man shit.
Yeah, what it means to be a man shit. They don't really give a fuck. They had nothing to do with shaving and shit. They were just talking about what men need to do to step up in this world. Like, they really don't give a fuck. It's marketing, it's campaign. It'll get people mad. It'll get people attention on eyes on it, and they're doing their job correctly about it. So
yeah, shout out to y'all marketing people, bro. Y'all really
niggas,
generation.
Y'all niggas going in.
Salute to South Park actually, because they've been kind of on and off, but their focus on advertising as like a social thing was really on point. I don't think niggas really hip to that. Like, advertising is really like social and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's politics. Niggas hate politics, but that's just real life.
People sleep on South Park messages, man.
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
play.
man.
Let me play
That
this
one episode
video
where
here.
them deer critters are raping niggas. Bro. That shit
Hold
was
on, let me
pure
play this video
comedy.
that you posted. Nigga, the shit says, "What moo meal did this customer eat at Burger King?" Okay, let me play this shit for the fans.
Oh.
God damn,
Oh.
play shit.
I already know what's about to happen. Other than True spoiling it.
Well,
I mean, you would have seen it coming as soon as he stepped in dude's face. That was not gonna happen. That would have cast.
where the fuck the video at, nigga?
It's on the channel. Oh, he in a leg cast, not an arm cast.
Oh, I gotta watch it manually. I thought I was gonna put it in a watch together. What the fuck?
Bitch, how you put a Twitter video in the watch? What the fuck you talking about?
Is one of your tabs transgender weight?
Babe, get out the way, honey.
Bruh.
You better exit that out.
What?
Wait, what?
One of your tabs is transgender weight.
It's wait, hold on. It's
What's
nigga,
going on? Bro?
It's a yo.
You trying to find the right size?
No, bitch, no, it's a story that we gonna talk about. Get the fuck out of here, huh? What? Yo, transgender weightlifter.
Oh, all I saw was the first part. I couldn't
Smashes women's record, man. The fuck?
Oh shit, this nigga Burger King.
Oh, I ain't stepping on that nigga. Hold on.
You gotta keep him down.
What meal did he eat? God.
They holding, they holding that nigga down with his foot and shit. Oh man.
Apply pressure here. Oh, Joe.
I gotta watch this shit
Dead
with Bob.
ass. Apply pressure directly to the temple.
Be careful. Hey.
Oh shit.
God damn.
Why they got the little? Oh, oh, Joe.
Well, they got tasers. What is this?
They might as well jump him.
They whooping this nigga ass, bro.
Yo, I ain't know Burger King had tasers like that. Oh damn.
Hey, you can get it your way, I guess.
They ate the piss. They had the piss box, dog. It was fucking that nigga up, dog. Anyway, man, let's move on to the next thing here. Any final thoughts on this Burger King shit before we switch up? Burger King.
No, man.
Pretty much over.
All right, let's
right to feel the way you feel, man. That's to all our viewers out there. If you then just look up a mental hospital, not mental hospital, a mental website, and you know, take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, diagnose yourself.
Buy yourself burger, buying a burger. The fuck up, buying a burger. Buying a Burger King burger ain't that nigga.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about this Facebook shit, right? So Facebook is kicking niggas off now. They finally doing what people thought they should have been doing a long time ago. They kicking off Alex Jones, Milo Yiannopoulos, Laura Loomer, whatever the fuck her name is, and a bunch of other people, a bunch of alt-right people that, a bunch of conspiracy theorists, and also they kicked off Louis Farrakhan. So, and I think it's really mainly because of this, these mass shootings, these attacks on churches, synagogues, and shit like that. We saw a video of PewDiePie coming out and saying that he's denouncing some of the people in his fandom, and I think this is a backlash to all of that's what's going on. So let me go ahead and play the video.
Breaking news out of Silicon Valley. Facebook has banned a number of prominent conspiracy theorists and alt-right figures from both its site and the Instagram platform, including Alex Jones and his media outlet InfoWars. NBC's Ben Collins joins me now from our New York newsroom. Ben, this is, I think, for those of us who've been following me now, from our...
What's that computer say?
Nigga, I can't read that shit. What do you think?
I think it says Morgan's a hater. And they got a timestamp on it too. Damn, Morgan, even MSNBC knows. It's crazy. My bad.
What I
our
do?
New York newsroom. Ben, this is, I think, for those of us who've been following this story, why are they doing this now?
Well, it's a good question as to why they waited this long, but
yes,
we know now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we know them shootings, nigga. That's why they doing this now. We already know that.
So Alex Jones has been banned.
Oh, I thought they were just trying to detract from the fact that they've been stealing niggas' data in their own like trial for it.
I mean, that might be the case too, but I think it's mainly due to all these mass shootings. The dude just recently shot up the synagogue. Like, there's tons of mass shootings that's happening, and it's a lot of it is due to it's coming from the right. These dudes write these big ass manifestos and talk about how they've been indoctrinated, and like it's due to that. Really, it's not.
But why not just do gun control then? Like, why? I mean, ideas are important, but you know what I'm saying? Like, the weapons are important too, my nigga.
I mean, a lot of these dudes have AR-15s, but they'll still be pieces of shit. They'll find other ways to do these heinous acts, and it's not necessarily the gun; it's more so the people themselves being pulled into this darkness. So, and that these social media platforms allow for this shit to just simmer, allow for this shit to cook, and not do anything about it. They allow these people to develop these followings, and these people become mass shooters and shit. So it's, I don't know. I mean, they still got 4chan, 8chan, and Reddit or whatever the fuck, but I think
Reddit.
Them niggas on Reddit are weirdos, bro. Trust.
Don't be hating on Reddit.
I think
Reddit, they some shit on Reddit too, bro. Trust.
But
I mean, there's some people on every site, man. Come on, bro. You ain't gonna put all Reddit with the right, like with alt-right type of shit.
I mean, I'm not putting it all on them. I'm just saying that they are on there too.
They had a whole Stormfront subreddit and a whole
subreddit. And they closed that shit down, did they not? Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, man.
Stone likes Reddit, man. Y'all can't slander.
Okay, Stone. How does that not, like, niggas? It's whatever.
I'm saying it's an open platform. There's a whole bunch of alt-right niggas on Facebook. There's a whole bunch of alt-right niggas that are on Twitter, and they still use it and have groups and fests that are on there. If we're gonna blame the whole website for what individuals are going to be doing and shit like that, like,
no, we not blaming
the whole website. Yeah. I'm saying that Reddit niggas have weirdos. There are weirdos there.
Yeah, and Facebook niggas are weirdos too.
The website. Why is okay? Let me ask you this now, right? Were you there? Okay, recently. Let me give you an example. Right, recently, one of the most popular subs on that place is Black People Twitter. There's one of the most.
Yeah,
should be on the front page, damn near every day. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. So
yeah,
that shit. They had a April Fool's prank, right, where they had verified Black users because whenever a shooting happened, whenever something that actually matters to Black people happens, the whole sub switches up. And you know the kind of switch up I'm referring to, so I'm not going to explain it. If you don't know what I'm referring to, I don't feel like explaining it right now. Point being, after seeing that switch up, and watching that shit happen, you don't know what the switch up I'm talking about is?
No, I don't be on Reddit like that.
Okay, the switch up is on a day-to-day basis. It'd be mad people in there using the slang, just enjoying Black culture. A shooting happens, or some kind of controversial thing in the Black community happens, and everything switches up, and then it's suddenly, damn, bro, well, we should hear more, or damn, bro, why was he even doing this, or oh, look, you had like all that kind of shit. Oh, well, the police found out that he robbed somebody 3 years ago, or some shit like that.
Wait, that's what the black subreddit turned into?
The Black People Twitter, because again, it's not actually for Black people, it's just for other people to look at Black culture.
Oh, so, I see what you're saying, yo.
Yeah, so that kind of switch up where it's not actually niggas, it's just people, you know what I'm saying? It's the internet too, so it's even more of a switch up because those little thrown on identities, it looks weird just reading it, but then it looks even weirder when the masks fall off. Anyways, so for Twitter or Black People Twitter for April Fools, they had verified users. I think they called it the Country Club or something, where unless you send them a picture of your arm with the timestamp of you, of course, having black skin, then you couldn't post on the subreddit for the whole day. That is some weirdo shit in itself, okay? What's even weirder is the way niggas responded to this by hopping, because Reddit has meta subreddits where they talk about other subreddits. Yeah. They were hopping on those and talking shit. Like, this is just like what we're trying to fight against. It was April Fools, bro. Like, what really got niggas is they did it for an extra day. That was the key sticking point. They did it for an extra day of not letting them back in, just to really fool people. Like, hey, we're for real, y'all. These niggas threw a fit, bro. That's the Reddit that I'm familiar with. The real Reddit. That Reddit that was talking shit about the NFL players that were sitting down. The Reddit that doesn't really support basketball players that try to move their careers instead of playing key to their owners. Like, that's the Reddit I'm referring to as weirdos. not trying to generalize them. It's just the site is not for us, my nigga. Like, they weirdos.
Let's play the rest of this video here. Let's get back on track with the video.
These alt-right niggas are weirdos too.
From Facebook for a long period of time, but now they banned him. They banned his like little underling, Paul Joseph Watson, who's a notorious anti-Muslim conspiracy theorist who tried to break off recently. They banned Laura Loomer. They've even banned Louis Farrakhan from the platform for his anti-Semitism, which is that's always sort of been the what about from the right here is why not ban Louis Farrakhan if you're banning Alex Jones? So they banned both.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm surprised he brought that up. So yeah, that is why I think they banned Louis Farrakhan. Really?
Yeah, because the nigga do be saying some suspect stuff.
Yeah, he be saying some anti-Semitic shit, but it's not to the level of these other people, right? And none of his followers go out there and commit heinous acts. And they what are you talking some nigga who?
Didn't they kill? No, I ain't.
Ooh.
No,
this nigga.
No, stop bringing that up.
Don't talk about it. I ain't gonna talk about it.
You don't get the fuck out of here with that shit.
You better get Pop. Keep talking about it.
You know what I'm talking about, but we ain't gonna say no names.
Even if that was the case, that's happened so long ago, man. I'm talking about now. What have they done lately, nigga?
They the progenitor, man. Yeah, the
people that killed in the past.
They the progenitor of what, nigga?
Of killing niggas, man.
Killing.
Yeah. I'm done, man. You sound like Morgan. God damn, man, boy, y'all niggas.
Bro, you over here telling us a frog is spawning in more races. We can't say Farrakhan was, a little sus
out there.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh my! I mean, it's light up there. Your nigga head light as fuck. Shit is a parachute, nigga. This nigga could float away in that bitch, though. Anyway, man, fuck.
What the fuck? You talk about yourself?
Nigga,
there's no possible way Farrakhan killed anybody, y'all. No way possible.
No weight in his head, dog. It's fucking. Anyway,
you agree with us, but you're trying to slander.
Look, I'm not agreeing with y'all at all. I don't believe that's the case. I know that there was other things going on around that time.
He even said that his teachings probably caused it. Farrakhan said that.
Them niggas had separate lectures on the one who should now be named, nigga.
Listen, he the one that said it. Don't blame me.
Niggas like, today we talking about this person. Exclusively. Like, come on, man.
I don't like the way Malcolm moving. So they went and handled it. He didn't directly say go pop him off.
Get your hand out my pocket, nigga. Like, that was the last thing that nigga heard.
Bro, if you hear that, you gotta dodge.
Yeah, you gotta go.
I don't care what nobody says.
I'm not even gonna talk about this shit, man. Fuck y'all niggas.
You're wrong.
You want to ignore the truth, nigga? All right, go ahead.
What evidence do you have? And also,
I gave you Farrakhan saying it.
Can you please acknowledge that they were getting help? If that was the case, that there was help from the FBI.
They still, if they getting help, they still a part of the crime, nigga. What you talking about?
And that they knew about the shit and allowed it to happen.
Hey, man. Hey.
Like, come on.
What's done in the dark will be brought to the light.
Come on. And also, people had a lot of issues with what Malcolm was doing at that time anyway. They felt like there's too much other shit going on for this black man to come out here and to bash another black man, which it's kind of, it makes sense for him to say those things about what Elijah Muhammad, being a pedophile and shit like that. It made sense.
Which apparently we can't talk. We can't speak on that, bro.
Look, I mean, that's too late now. I mean, it's too late now.
Man, God, Ty fucked up, man.
But I mean, at the same time, he was doing a lot of shit for the black community at the time. So that's probably why people had issues with what he was doing. Let's see this video. Fuck it.
The Ty is fucking up my eyes, bro. Fix your shit, man. All right, my bad. I was talking about the newscaster. Go ahead.
What's happening here on Instagram today? They are taking down what they call organized hate groups, or hate against specific religions, specific like sexuality, things like that. This is sort of taking the lead of its parent company, Facebook, from a while back. Just had a hard time enforcing this. And it's actually going a little bit further than Twitter. A lot of these people aren't banned from Twitter, and they are, in fact, banned from Instagram now.
So, is this a decision that's rooted in the policy that Facebook has had all the way along, or is this essentially a political decision?
You know,
why do people like using political as a bad word?
I don't. Do you think that? Hold on. Do you think that she was using it as a bad phrase in this one, or I think she was just asking for clarification of if was this in the actual policy or was this something that like they.
Well, a lot of I mean, I guess it makes sense for her to bring it up because a lot of people on the right side talk a lot of shit on these social media places about how they are like leftist propaganda and they allow leftist people to say a bunch of shit and they don't really ban them and they're targeting the right side. So that's probably why she brought up the political aspect of the whole thing.
Yeah,
and that's probably why that's another reason why they probably banned Farrakhan too. It's like you know, so and like I said, the Ilhan Omar shit. She's a Muslim woman and like in Congress. And she was blamed for being anti-Semite. Yeah. And she didn't really even say. She didn't say the shit to the level of these other people that get defended by the same people that are bashing her. But they wanna try to throw that bone out there to take you off the scent. So. Oh
yeah, Bush. Just before we go, one above all said, "What do I care what we do with our traitors?" That's a quote, Bush.
I mean, I watched that whole speech, so I know I've seen that. Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck. All right, go ahead.
It's complicated. It depends on how you want to view this, really. A lot of people on the right say this is censorship to take people down, even though they are, effectively over and over again railing against specific religions or people like that, like contributing to targeted harassment of sometimes private figures. But really, what they're trying to do here is clamp down on the really bad stuff on their platform, so they have fewer PR disasters. This is a company that has unfortunately, accidentally abetted genocide in Myanmar with Facebook. So they're trying to stop all of the bad stuff on the platform from getting too big. And frankly, by the way, really quickly, Alex Jones, while banned from Facebook, was still on Instagram. And we did some internal data on this. If you looked up Joe Biden, one of the top 20 posts on all of Facebook and Instagram in the last 3 days about Joe Biden came from Alex Jones's Instagram account. So that's gone.
Damn, where's this nigga next started?
A very telling statistic. NBC's Ben Collins.
My bad, bro. Go ahead.
Appreciate it.
That nigga look like that green bean from Hunter x Hunter. What was that nigga name? The little green character.
So that's gone now.
That nigga built like muck and shit from Pokemon, bro. Like, net. You know that one
Jabba the Hutt neck.
You know that one emote that we got in the fucking chat, nigga, with the frog and shit? That's what that nigga looked like, bro.
It look like he's swallowing himself, motherfucker. That's what it really look like.
Go ahead, man.
Is it just an angle or some shit?
That nigga.
Nah, that was an every.
That's why he be talking about reptiles, because his own skin don't fucking fit.
No, that's just not.
You look like one of them thumb heads from kids.
Yeah.
Never mind.
He do look like a thumb.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
He's Ben Collins. Thanks very much for the update. We appreciate it.
Hey there.
All right, so let me give you all the details of this whole thing, right? So these are the bands here. Like I mentioned, Laura Loomer, Paul Joseph Watson, Louis Farrakhan, and these people are banned forever essentially, and they can't create new accounts. They introduced this new rule where if you were seen with a hate figure, they can ban you just off of that. So a lot of these people took photos or I guess bigged up or praised people like Gavin McInnes, and he's a hate figure. So that was a cause for them to be banned. So a lot of people you see on this list were banned for that specific reason, and of course other things involved in that. Let's see here. Let me see. Also, if you are a user and you talk about these people, you won't be banned. So you can still bring these people up in your conversations. You can praise them. You can do whatever you want. You can even make, I guess, fan pages about these people, as long as the party that's banned is not associated with the page itself. So that's that right there. What else? I think that's pretty much all we need to know about this shit. That's pretty much the ban. What are y'all thoughts on this shit?
Does that mean Joe Rogan's getting banned off Facebook?
Has it? I don't know. Cause didn't he do a podcast with Gavin McInnes?
And he did one with Alex Jones too. Joe Rogan has everybody on his podcast, so but that's not their the only difference is that's not their platform. He's really just having them as a guest and showcasing them. So if you're gonna ban that, and he be having people from the left and right on his show, so you really can't ban that nigga.
Nah, not that left shit. That nigga got like one nigga from the left and 80 niggas from the right on his show, dog. Chill.
Did he or that just me? I ain't.
Hold on, what'd you say?
No, yeah, but he got one nigga from the left and 80 niggas from the right on his show. Like, stop it.
Nigga, I think that's just your YouTube recommend.
Hey, bitch, bitch, I'm subscribed to him. I see who he have on.
I'm subscribed to him too. What the fuck you talking about? Why you gonna tell me?
That shit is like right, left. Bitch, what the fuck you talking about?
Hey man, the diversity is there. That's all that matters.
Ain't no fucking bitch. Shut up.
You like Marvel being diverse?
And don't be doing no dumb shit like calling Kevin Hart left, bitch. No, I'm talking about actual political people, dog.
No, hold on now. K Hart left. They gotta count.
That nigga's an entertainer. Shut up.
He's just making money.
Killer Mike's on there. Would you call him left?
Yeah, you would call. I would consider Killer Mike left.
And all he do is call himself as a rapper. So,
but like I said, out of all the sea of people that are on the right that he has on there, this nigga got outright. He got that nigga Stephen Molyneux. That nigga's a fucking one of them white genocide dudes. He's a race realist. He thinks black people are inferior, nigga. What the fuck? He had him on.
That's low key fact.
That nigga
be talking to
Morgan, hold on. We gonna what Morgan just said?
No, we didn't hear that.
Yeah, well, I heard that shit.
I just ignore that dumbass nigga, man.
Y'all know I care.
Nigga listening to a race realist talking, he's so interesting. Like what, Joe?
I mean, I subscribe to the podcast like y'all.
I mean, he also got Adam on there. I forgot his last name because I don't fuck with that nigga.
I mean, look, he has a handful of people from the left.
Yeah, the other nigga on there too, man.
Ooh.
The ratio is off, not the. You know what I'm saying? That's
the ratio is all the way off, and he gets extreme niggas he
Alex
gets
Jones, man.
Yeah, like fucking Milo, the pedophile nigga. Talk about fucking little boys. He got him on.
Yeah, I ain't see that. I ain't see all.
I ain't watched that one.
I ain't subbed to him.
Nigga had a race realist on, nigga. Is that not that nigga's a fucking Nazi?
So did Destiny, but you watch him.
That's a debate, bitch. What the fuck?
Why I gotta be a bitch?
Joe Rogan does not
challenge.
Yeah, Joe Rogan don't challenge shit. That nigga.
I mean, what's wrong with just listening to people?
Man,
if you're on,
also
go to the podcast a lot.
You broke up.
What you say?
The problem with just listening is if you're bringing them onto the podcast, you're validating them.
Yeah, exactly. And if you
bring them onto the podcast and they express their views, and you sit by and don't challenge them in any ways, then their views get validated.
I mean, doesn't Joe do that for
fade through with no challenge?
Yes, exactly.
Nope,
exactly, precisely.
It's very true. That's how take Stockholm syndrome from an example. The more you're exposed to something, the more accustomed you become to it. Like you don't even have to. It doesn't have to present itself well to you. Just if you see it a lot, you'll like it more.
Well, if he doesn't challenge the left, that means he agree with them too, right?
No, the ratio's off.
Yeah, it's all
the ratio.
Yeah, and also he challenges niggas on the left all the time. And nigga,
yeah, when they were interviewing that Twitter guy or whatever, when they were arguing about Twitter,
yeah,
they were talking about how they're targeting white people.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that nigga. Yeah,
that nigga was all in the conversation. Like, damn, Joe.
Dang, it's almost like it's his podcast.
I mean, he don't do that with other niggas.
He was in a conversation with opinions and challenges.
Yeah.
It's not just the fact that he has opinions. It's just, okay, for example, he has opinions, right? Where are his opinions at when he's talking to a race realist? What is his opinion if he doesn't say anything?
Exactly. And these people like, what's old boy name? Jordan Peterson that be saying stupid shit. Like he doesn't challenge these people, man. He don't challenge these people.
Like, where does his opinion go?
He kind of agree with these niggas. So we gonna be real about it.
There's
Don't we
only
all?
there's only two types of reasons you react to something like that. Either your girl is telling you a story that's lasting longer than 10 minutes and you're not trying to argue and she don't want advice, or B, somebody's saying something you agree with but you're not trying to say it because it make things hot. So you just be there like, oh, that's what's up. But you let them keep talking. You don't challenge them. You just, oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to fuck with that whole idea that they more interesting than the left. I'm sure they are. They talk about genocide and shit. So I mean, I guess it makes the show pop. I don't know, but I might bring up Joe Rogan again because to talk about this final story here, this transgender wrestler.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Let me bring it up.
Mucho Lucho.
Brock Lesnar daughter.
Jokers used to be Spanish. Actually, it's not real Spanish, but the O is for masculine. And never mind.
Nigga, you don't know Spanish. Shut the fuck up.
Yo soy entiendo español.
We just lost.
Oh, that boy woke.
I apologize, Roy Northside, man. Like, these niggas speaking fake Mexicans here, man. Fake Mexican. Oh, shit. My bad, bro. I didn't mean that.
You know how casually offensive that shit is, though?
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I apologize.
Fake Mexican, damn. Let me
It's
find.
real Venezuelan, bitch. No, I'm playing. I don't know Venezuelan. There's some dialects that get you with Spanish, man. There's so many fucking countries.
What that fucking Joe Rogan video? I
Oh,
think
the Asian. So Asian countries too.
I think it's on Joe Rogan clips or some shit.
Yeah, but they got the decency to have their own language. These niggas in Venezuela and Mexico speaking the same base language with like DLC attached.
I said wrestler, weightlifter. I typed in wrestler too.
Can you imagine Brock Lesnar in the WNBA, bro? That shit would be crazy.
That's fucked up.
I mean, his daughter.
Brock Lesnar in the WNBA, nigga.
I mean, at least it'll be exciting then.
Because he's bad at it, but he gets one choke slam per game.
Oh, shit. That'll be lit. I ain't even gonna flex.
All right, let me put up on the screen. So this is the weightlifter here. This is the transgender woman. We want to use the proper pronouns.
Hold on, what side did she switch from?
I mean,
nigga, what?
A man to a woman. Fuck.
Oh, okay.
All right, so this is. I think she broke the record here.
Advocated by one of the game's most divisive competitors, though. Transgender athlete competing in the women's over 90 kilo category missed out after picking up an elbow injury. Ben Croucher, BBC News.
That shit look like it hurt.
I mean, do you see him running in pain?
It hurt. Oh, that me hurt.
I thought they broke a record. What did they?
Hey, y'all got to share, bro. Y'all got to share.
What video is this?
Get to the story, Bush. Come on, bro.
All right. I'm gonna use the Joe Rogan podcast to get to the story.
That's what we just saying, bro.
Oh, I know this video.
If you don't find some NPR coverage or something, bro, come on.
NPR. All right, let me find some. You're right.
You go have that whole conversation. You gonna just turn Joe Rogan on.
It's all the video I can find. Here you go. Let me see. I got you.
There's no way in 2019 you only find one video on this topic.
Bush don't do research. We know this.
It's just scrolling down. What you mean?
Bush, you even watch this fucking video?
No. I got it. Let me find a better video.
Oh my god. Just turn Joe Rogan back on, man. This shit
it's not worth all this, man.
Yeah, man.
Just put like a little blurb that we don't agree with this nigga. That's all.
Let's go back to Joe. Great reliable Joe, man. I just want to point out that Joe Rogan.
You think that intro racist, man? You think that intro racist, Bush? Is that what you about to say?
No, I was not about to say that.
It might be. I don't know.
Look, I was not about to say that at all. I was not about to say that.
You say you agree with genocide, and you making monkey noises on the intro? I don't know.
Yo, the context of the intro is harmless, man. But look, so Joe Rogan hates transgender people.
No, he don't.
What? For real?
Bush don't. I don't think this nigga subscribed, dog. Like,
Bitch, did you watch that
well,
louder? You watched that louder with Crowder video?
I know exactly
what is
video
your
you're talking
saying,
about.
Bush?
Talking about sports. When you talking about sports, there is a clear. He made the establishment that there is a clear difference between men and women in the testosterone level. No matter what.
Let me play the video. Fuck this nigga Stone. Let's play the video.
This nigga don't be reading.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
That's what Stone is.
Did you see that male who identifies as a female just broke all these world records? It's a new one.
It be your own people, dog. Look at this shit.
I'm sorry, man. Look how Joe talk about this.
Did you see that male who identifies as a female just broke all these world records?
It's a she.
That's a true. A male that identifies as a female.
Wonderful. Congratulations, everybody. You broke everything.
Yeah, I gotta shut the fuck up while the video playing, please.
Yeah, please, yeah. Please and thank you.
Bush, I'm talking to you.
You went so progressive and so preposterous that we broke everything. And you have men that are winning women's world records in fucking weightlifting, which is like the dumbest shit for men and women to compete against. If there's ever one thing, even though like the tennis argument, it's like, well, Billie Jean King beat Bobby Riggs. Yeah. But Bobby Riggs was 55,
Right.
She was 29,
Right.
and they say that he threw the match because he bet against himself.
Oh, right. He was a big gambler.
But I will point out one thing. I do agree with this nigga when it comes to these sports related things, right? Even though that there is like hormone blockers and shit like that to make people that are transitioning more like the other gender. I still think that there is an advantage. So let's play the rest of this.
Oh yeah, like Joe says, like I don't know if you're gonna say it in this one, but he talked about it in another one. It's like they've dealt with it their whole life, like in terms of man transitioning into a woman. Like they have testosterone pumping through their body their whole lives. So of course now that they're just getting like estrogen levels and those chemicals in there, it's still not gonna be. There's nowhere near the same as a woman that was born as a woman completely. Is going to be on the same level as a man that just transitioned.
Yeah, like
born on steroids in comparison.
Yeah, it's just impossible because your body doesn't change that quickly, and a woman has to get used to their body for the majority of their entire life, where a man is just now switching and transitioning. But so they still have.
It also brings up the other issue here is that because I know a lot of transgender men. Which were who are women who want to become men, they get involved in these sports too, and they are at I guess a disadvantage.
They get wrecked. Yeah, like they get wrecked.
But
I've never even heard of someone crossing over that way. Like who does that?
I mean, there's videos. I wish I had the Yahoo sports shit because they got like a whole video on it, but I couldn't find their clip on YouTube. That's why I ended up bringing up Joe Rogan shit. So I may play the video. I may send y'all the link to that shit. Honestly, let me do that. That's what y'all were looking at where it says transgender weightlifter on my tab. Let me post that shit.
That was a man to woman, wasn't it?
Let me post that.
All right, in the meantime, let me press play on this.
That was what I heard. Yeah. I would say that too if I lost. I would say I threw the match.
Yeah. Well, basketball,
look at this.
tennis.
Is this the woman?
Echo somebody.
Yeah, somebody echoing. Hell, fix that shit expeditiously.
The one?
Yes. Is this Chelsea?
This is the woman who's winning.
This is not Bruce
world
Jenner.
Records.
Okay.
Let's get a look.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Seems like a gal.
Huh.
That seems like a very strong man.
Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
How much weight is that?
It doesn't look like a lot of weight. So,
see, I think so. The woman I posted up first was different. I think this is different. So
this is about.
So ignore that first person. All together.
Reps here.
Yeah,
Okay.
300, 315. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, that's a ridiculous amount of weight for a woman to lift. And if you're going to be a real woman, a biological woman, excuse me, and lift that kind of weight, you have to be a real outlier.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
But this is so ridiculous.
Wow.
What is this guy's quote?
What
does
does it
this
say?
one guy in the comments say? Congratulations on your excellent performance. Screw anybody who tries to knock achievements. The hard work speaks for itself. Hey, whoever you are, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you and your nonsense. You're the
Okay,
reason why this
gentlemen.
shit is happening in the first place because people tolerate this.
Yeah.
That is nuts. If
Well, to be fair, it does take an amount of hard work even to be average.
But the thing is, we're talking about men and women differences in terms of elite level, man. Like this is facts. This is just facts. Physically, men on an average level are just physically stronger than women. And
yeah,
we
even
both,
then, like I think of course that's not even an argument. Like we've been past that. This shit is stupid. I'm just saying, like even for these athletes that are transferring over like this, not necessarily. I'm not just saying they're just hopping from one league to the other. They're making this life transition and trying to maintain the way of life that they've been living. Because as an athlete, if you are in any way professional, this is pretty much your way of life. It takes a lot of determination and consistent practice.
absolutely. I'm not trying to take
even then, like still shout out to the practice that got them to the point of being able to compete at a professional level. The problem is that again,
when you're playing with the card.
So here's the actual person that they talking about. So just
I don't think Stone was done talking, my nigga.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Right, fuck Stone. It's the actual person.
Come on, Mary!
This ain't Eric?
Mary.
My bad. I apologize. I didn't mean to say all that.
Come on, Mary!
All right, so let me go back to faithful old Joe.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Well, Bruce Jenner.
Maybe it's the monkey noise that's throwing me the fuck out.
If you're gonna be a real
like,
woman, biological woman, excuse me, and lift that kind of weight, you have to be a real outlier.
Yeah,
it's very rare.
Yeah,
but this is so ridiculous.
Wow.
Oh my, what is this guy's quote? What does this one guy in the comments say? Congratulations on your excellent performance. Screw anybody who tries to knock achievements. The hard work speaks for itself. Hey, whoever you are, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you and your nonsense. You're the reason why this shit is happening in the first place because people tolerate this.
Yeah.
That is nuts. If you had a daughter that trained her whole life to be a weightlifter and she's really into it and this fucking guy decides he identifies as a woman and then competes as a woman in weightlifting, just fucking stop.
Yeah.
Again, it's not the fact that it's just a random guy because most of the niggas here assembled could not even do this shit if they transferred over. It's the fact that an athlete is doing this.
I'm low different that weight, dog. I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
What?
You are not. You are mid-tier women's division. You are low tier, like world. When it comes to the world, you're low tier among professionals.
I'll pull up day one and I'll freaking rap.
You're not day one. You got
day
a good
one,
2
no
months,
prep.
like, a good 2 months maybe, bro. But you need
prep time.
That nigga saying his boxers with a hoodie, man.
Nah, bro, it's not that easy, my nigga. But
The
no, it
hoodie,
takes a lot of hard work.
that's true.
That's 3. That's like, what was the world record?
And my fucking Timbs too, dog.
Chill, nigga. You're not even from New York. You can't do that.
Not from New York. Look, you obviously don't know my background, nigga. What the fuck?
Oh shit, break it down for the fans one time.
Man, fuck this nigga, man. Play the video.
How you gonna skip his origin story? His flashback music
I'm
started
from
playing.
New York. I don't know how to work around here.
Everybody just stop. You're in Crazy Town. This is officially Crazy Town.
Yeah.
We're out of our fucking minds.
I don't know how it's legal.
What's
Clown world?
How's it legal?
It has nothing to do with being open-minded or tolerant. It has something to do with logic, just basic reason. This is craziness. You're enabling people to do something that's preposterous. This has nothing to do with being open-minded or kind to people. I'm 100% for people being trans.
Sure.
I'm 100% for people doing whatever they want to do. Just don't hurt anybody, and I'm cool with that.
Same here.
But this is just, you're in make-believe town. Why not pretend you're a fox and go live in the forest? Like, you're in make-believe.
Yeah.
This is make-believe. You can't
Like, come on with that shit. Like, stop.
My only thing is,
I hate
go
when
ahead.
niggas do that shit. Like, why don't you pretend to be a spoon? Like, what the fuck? What that mean?
My only thing is,
Oh, ain't nobody going that far with it, nigga.
my only thing is, if we gonna live in this progressive culture, and there are people transitioning from one gender to another, and they want to do sports, they can't compete in the men's division because they don't identify with man. So what do we do in that case? Because obviously it's not going to be on the same playing field if they end up like in this case, if they end up doing a women's division. It's just not going to be on the same playing field. What's the solution for it? That's my opinion.
That's a hard question.
We have to. No, it's not. It's easy. Right? We just have to be clear on something. The gender conversation, right, is debating the social construct.
Yeah.
That's what these niggas are debating. Because there's no way to debate sex. Like, of course, there are people that aren't necessarily one or the other, but that is them. Like, that is their specific thing. What the debate is about is how to regard people that don't feel a certain way. Sports is not a feeling. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is as biological as it gets before intercourse. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? There's no spectrum when it comes to the physicality of like competition, my nigga, unfortunately. So it has to not be a gender question, it has to be a sex question. The way it can be a sex question is if you do with what I think the track association is doing, where at a certain testosterone level you can't compete, which will fuck over a lot of the higher end, quote unquote, natural real women athletes. But you have to draw those kind of hard lines that there's no real debate on, and maybe that'll help. I don't know if it's just purely testosterone levels or if there's other things you have to look at. But
that sounds like an interesting idea. I never heard that before. I think it probably was in that story that was linked yesterday. But that is an interesting idea as far as going off the testosterone levels. Because I mean, if you are transitioning to a woman and your shit is lower than the limit, I guess, then you should be able to compete, I guess, because you don't have this huge fucking advantage going in. So I mean that makes sense, but I don't really understand this shit, so I can't really speak on this shit. So I wish we had Mo here. Mo would be perfect for this topic. I think Mo has done more research into this shit than any of us. What up, Roy? One above all says trans women are leaps and bounds ahead of biological women. I mean that is true.
Physically, yeah. Well, not aesthetically, physically.
Just
decide.
decide.
I've seen some dimes, dog. I'm not gonna hold you. I wouldn't do it just off the knowledge. Say what y'all about me, but
I mean,
aesthetically,
niggas gotta.
I'm lying. They're not dimes. I'm just being like.
No, they dimes, man. Speak your mind.
Bush is not on your side, dog.
You just gotta stay in this character. You gotta stay with it forever.
Bush, this is your character trait. You gonna have bars, aggression, and traps.
Bars, aggression, and
he also said when nobody was looking, he would smash a trans guy.
Look, we don't. Look, what?
These are fat. I got Bush saying some such shit.
I said that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Bush don't even know.
There's no Bush.
Trans guys still have pussies, man. They are women.
Bush. Bush. If the check ever comes, just know, nigga, I'm exposing you.
You exposing what, man? The fuck you mean?
I'm exposing
him. Look, Mo, what is Mr. Anime Tales talking about? Mo ain't done more research like my fucking asshole. He just knows slightly more than you and about it and scares you into not questioning him. What?
He said Mo ain't intelligent. He just be punking
you. Mo be punking me. No, Mo just knows how to design his arguments, and he know how to speak on shit. So of course that's gonna be.
Well, just say he know how to articulate himself.
Of course,
well.
yeah, he's more articulate. Of course, he's gonna be more convincing than these knucklehead niggas. They'll be like, oh, tranny, fuck it. Like, no.
I mean, none of us said that but you.
Look, yes, you.
Which is so fucking dumb.
We in here just watching the video. You like, man, I hate how you talk about trannies. I'll smash.
Anyway,
What?
Don't get so fucking dumb too.
We all in this together.
Yo. But Mr. Anime
No.
tells suck a huge, fat, gigantic.
No. Thank
You being
for your
homophobic,
comment.
man.
We
Gigantic
appreciate you, dog.
trans penis.
What?
Is that real or fake?
We need directions for this shit, bro. Like we need.
That's why I had to ask
Eastern
at the start of the
bound, Western
video.
bound.
Suck the
Play the
come
video.
out. Suck the come out of nigga dick, man. You.
Okay, play the video.
I'm pressing play, dog.
You're a woman and compete with women.
Right.
That's make believe. You can. There's no advantage. Make believe. That's make believe.
It is
of course,
make-believe.
there's an advantage.
Yes.
You fucking know there's.
By the way, Joe Rogan clearly does not actually understand or support transgender or the current transgender movement as we understand it, because there's like very basic parts that he's really denying, even though he's saying it's okay. What he's really saying is, I'm not going to speak out about it, but when it comes down to it, I have no, I have no understanding or belief in what you people have been trying to tell
I mean, he does essentially speak out against him when he brings on people like Louder with Crowder, and he agrees with everything they say on it. So,
yeah, but he tries to act like he just said something like, "Oh, by the way, first of all, I want to say that I support this," or something like that. Like, people say like, I'm all for it, but and then they just completely go against it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's what this nigga's doing. So I just want to.
I mean, to a point, to a degree of offense, I think he's mostly talking about, because whenever I hear him talk about this, is usually in terms of trans people or is that the correct term? Trans people in. I'm trying to figure. I'm really trying to figure out.
Transgender. I think that's still safe to say.
I mean, you're right. I mean, it's right.
He's not saying anything like, because remember, if we just take a whole movement by its face value and takes every value that it is and saying that it's all right, then we're not really helping the movement in itself if we don't criticize it. That's how I'm taking it.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, but listen to the way he said this. All right, let me play.
Go ahead. Yeah, play it.
Woman and compete with women.
Right.
That's make believe. You can. There's no advantage. Make believe. That's make believe.
It is
of course,
make-believe.
there's an advantage.
Yes.
You fucking make believe for people being trans.
Sure.
I'm 100% for people doing whatever they want to do. Just don't hurt anybody, and I'm cool
is that
with
Marcel?
that.
Same here.
But this is
Yes.
just.
Oh, Marcel, good. You good.
This came at the end of the podcast, man.
You don't know his voice by now?
No, I don't actually.
Hey, is that a problem, nigga?
Oh my God,
Yeah, go for
dog,
250.
now.
Hey, chill. Also, fuck you, more. Get out the chat, bitch. I see you in there.
Are you in the
saying
chat
that?
while you're on the podcast?
Yeah, he's
No.
always in there, man. Nigga say,
No, I'm not.
Captain. I disagree with Mo on a lot of shit. So I
She's
mean,
not on the podcast.
I mean, we have disagreements on the podcast all the time.
One topic.
Bro, we're not gonna argue about the podcast on the podcast.
We're watching a podcast on the podcast.
And
I mean,
we're watching somebody else's. That's not dub podcast. This is just a video. Like at this point,
I mean, and if I'm a Mo puppet, so what, man? I fuck with Mo.
All
my
right.
nigga,
so as we were saying, I just wanted to
Vito
show
and
you
Mo
what I
Black
was referring
Vince.
to
Yeah,
earlier.
man, fuck y'all niggas. Y'all still watching? Shit.
Nigga, we don't do it.
Yeah, I don't mind people being shit.
It's all right. Anyway, yeah. Go ahead, True.
I'm just gonna press play.
No, explain to them. We watching the video. A transgender weightlifter has broken records in weightlifting in the women's division, and we're talking about whether or not that's good or bad, whether or not that's okay, and what it leads to. So, how do you feel about that?
Nigga, that's broken, bro. I mean, look, honestly, it's not fair, because even if you take the woman out, or you take the woman out of the man, you still can't take the man out of the woman, bro. And
what?
This,
yeah, I wouldn't have to. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I wouldn't have to put it that way.
Basically, what I'm saying is, like, this guy, had his whole transgender thing, and now he sees himself as a woman. That's fine. And then he goes into weightlifting. He still has male strength, and males are, normally stronger than women. He's out here breaking records and shit.
I feel like I just said all of this earlier, man. See, Marcel, you kind of
Marcel was up to
you a
date.
smart,
Marcel
you a
was
smart dumb nigga, man. Like,
I
hold on, Stone. If you said that, then you a smart dumb nigga too.
No, nigga. No, I'm saying
How am I a smart dumb nigga?
sometimes he's smart, but most of the time that nigga dumb. But yeah, I agree with you on this
You
one.
are the dumbest nigga I know.
The dumbest.
You are the dumbest nigga I know.
Hey, yo.
This nigga, man. Fuck out.
Dang. That's
Hey, yo,
hurtful.
where is
That's part of me.
where is hold up.
Hmm?
Hold up, let me a moment.
Bush.
One
Me in the
more.
middle of ass nigga. What's going on, bro?
I'm trying to find Mr. Anime Tales. I'm finna invite him in here though. I wanna talk to my nigga.
Isn't Mr. Anime Tales what's his name?
He's always number one.
Oh, okay. Not a British nigga?
Yeah, another British nigga. Hating on his own kind, man. What kind of shit is this, man? It don't make sense, man.
You about to come pull up and argue about Mo, dog?
Just call Stone a monkey.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
I'm tired of people just saying stuff like that.
That nigga Bush is so fucking dumb.
And then he wants to Rick Nasheed all the time too.
It's like he stops listening to himself and just says shit sometimes, bro. Like
honestly, I've not been listening to the podcast for like the last hour. I'm phoning it in, but
I hate this nigga.
No, I'm lying. I'm here, man. Continue. Let's play the video.
People. I'm 100% for people being trans. Sure. I'm 100% for people doing whatever they want to do. Just don't hurt anybody, and I'm cool with that.
Same here.
But this is just, you're in make-believe town. Why not pretend you're a fox and go live in the forest? Like, you're in make-believe. Yeah. This is make-believe. You can't just decide you're a woman and compete with women.
So I agree with on that. I agree with you on that point where it's like, why don't you decide? Like that comment didn't really had anything to do with.
Didn't really add shit, and it's
I'll
not
give you.
the
I'll
same,
give you.
yeah.
I'll definitely give you. There's definitely some. There's still some disconnect in terms of transphobia, but not to excuse myself, but I feel like. I think the only issue is I don't feel like he's necessarily calling himself out on it because I'll be doing the same thing. I'll be saying some wild shit myself, but I think the issue comes in where you don't try to check yourself about it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this idea that this leads to this and niggas get ridiculous. Like, what? And I bet they were asking the same questions when they freed niggas from slavery. Like, if we free the niggers, then we got to free the animals in the zoo. Ha ha! Like, it's just, like just stupid ass leaps that don't make any sense. Like, no reason to even say that. Like, these are clearly two different things.
Yeah.
So,
right.
That's make believe. You can. There's no advantage. Make believe. That's make believe.
It is
of course,
make-believe.
there's an advantage.
Yes.
You fucking know there's an advantage.
Yes.
Everyone knows. This is crazy.
I want to see that in the NFL. You know, you got like.
What is that? God. Before and after? Is it two different looks?
That's the
we
same
don't need
person?
to see this person.
Wait a second.
I don't want to shame this person. Look, someone's letting her do this.
Right.
You know,
that's the problem.
That's the problem. There should be a transgender league.
Right.
Or there should.
Wait, I don't.
They make leagues, man.
That shit.
Yeah, that leads to the question I had earlier.
Yo.
Is that the solution? Like, that's fucked up. It sounds fucked up, but.
Is there something wrong with that though? A transgender league?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's that many. Is there that many transgender people?
Because it sounds like you're separate. The problem is that you're separating up people. Yeah, like go ahead.
Yeah. My bad. So you about to say this?
You're putting a separate category. You're completely disregarding the fact that they identify as that gender.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But wait, but hold on. What about the Special Olympics?
Whoa.
So you might be dumb, nigga.
Yo.
Going off that logic, right? How come we don't put people who are capable enough to compete in the Special Olympics and in the regular Olympics?
Because transgender people aren't disabled.
Okay, but what do you mean?
Yo.
They're like,
What do you mean? I'm not saying they're disabled, but they're not the social norm, if that makes sense.
But the problem isn't that the people
ain't nothing
are a social norm.
I mean,
they literally are disabled and
it's nothing social about a fucking not having a leg. What the fuck you talking about? What?
motherfucker though. Would you like?
But remember, autism is a choice, man. So
who is saying this shit?
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
Well, I
Riz
think,
said-
I mean,
We're not quoting Riz, dog.
I mean,
Stop.
Def Racer said, "How is it fucked up? Men and women are separated. Are they not? They know they are trans. Okay, that's but they identify with
Yeah,
specific
being
gender.
trans isn't supposed to be its own thing. It's just
Yeah.
saying, hey, even though I was born this way, from what I'm understanding, again, I can't really relate, but from what I've heard and what I've listened to, what's been communicated to me, is that it's being born one way and feeling the other. You don't feel like a different kind of woman or a different kind of man. You feel like the man and the woman that we are familiar with, or whatever non-binary shit they got going on.
Yeah, and like I said, I can't really speak on this. I'm not well.
So if Joe was
this
referring to like
so.
non-binary people, then that would be legitimate. But he's not. He's looking at it as men and women. He's not mentioning any kind of that kind of stuff because that's not what's going on. So the argument doesn't really.
I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to imagine like if LeBron James like became transgender and went to the WNBA.
That'd be so fire.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, this nigga
Yo,
wouldn't
like
stop.
stop mocking the shit by talking about the best athlete in the world. Go to like stop doing that shit.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like okay, it's not fair because they have an unfair advantage compared to women. Like if LeBron James really did that, he will never lose because they can't even dunk in the WNBA. All he has to do is just dunk it.
Brittany Griner can dunk.
Also, you gotta think about Truth brought up the whole testosterone thing, right? Because there are hormone blockers and shit like that to make them develop more like the gender that they identify with. So
LeBron's hair is done growing. He don't need no more testosterone.
So if they start early, then they probably won't be as strong as.
But that's an issue of
biological-
ethics.
Huh?
That's an issue of ethics as well. If you do that, just because if you start early, I'm assuming you're talking about kids and teenagers and stuff like that, right? Starting early trans. There's an issue with that in itself because remember, kids don't have consent until they're at least like 18, full consent like at 21, right?
Yeah.
So
Even get tattoos
someone
on
had
their
to administrate. Yeah, someone has to administrate that to them, and that can have long lasting effects towards somebody.
I don't think the hormone blocker has long lasting. I think it stops like I guess the person from going in one direction. But if they decide that they don't want to do this anymore, then it won't really have a huge effect.
At the development stage is definitely going to have long term effects.
It's not necessarily growth. It's not really affecting the growth, though. I don't think. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know enough about.
I mean, yeah, if you're a child and you block the hormones that make you develop sexually, that's going to affect your growth.
I don't see how that correlates. Like my sexual organs and my testosterone doesn't mean that my bones will grow a different way.
Yeah, it does.
It's a part of your pancreatics. It will.
Like when I mean sexually, I mean like literally sex, like as in man and woman, like growing as a man, growing as.
And remember, hormones affect the way your body. Well, so it definitely does affect it.
Let me see.
Genetics major motherfucker. At least it does something for. All right, go ahead.
Let me look that shit up. I don't know. Play the video while I look this up. Go ahead.
Be some rules where you have to compete with the chromosome of your birth.
What?
You don't have to fucking compete. Most people don't
Give me 1 second. Pause
compete
this.
in organized sports.
This nigga Stone fucking.
Yeah, it's my bad. Sorry about that. All right.
Transgender league,
right?
Or there should
nigga.
Transgender league.
Are you good, Stone?
Be some rules where you have to compete with the chromosome of your birth. You don't have to fucking compete. Most people don't compete in organized sports.
Right.
Most people don't.
No.
And if you're trans, maybe that should be something you can't do. And particularly for girls who transition to boys, you know that school in Texas that won't let this girl who's transitioning to a boy, they won't let her compete with boys. So they make her compete with girls, and she's on fucking testosterone.
Right.
So she's taking testosterone to be, or he's taking testosterone, whatever you want to say it. I get so confused.
Yeah.
To become a boy. Zur is taking testosterone to become a boy.
Yes.
And then
It's
it's
not confusing, but okay.
That's that belittling shit. People.
I mean,
that's
I hate
ignorance,
when
really.
I hate when niggas do that. Like, God, it's not hard. It's he, she. If he
What? Yo, chill.
no, I'm not saying
That's two choices.
That's
Not
a,
that.
that was a slur though.
I wasn't saying it like that.
You were saying it like he is and she in terms of.
Yeah, I know.
If he wants to be called she and she wants to be called he, like it's not that hard. It's just you being like, oh, are you a woman or a man now? But you're like, it's just so fucking.
But it's
Joe Rogan can have
I get so confused. Like, no, you don't.
Joe Rogan can have hold on. Joe Rogan can have functional conversations with Alex Jones about reptilian overlords. Once you introduce the concept of using the other pronoun, and this nigga's confused.
Exactly.
I don't know what to call them.
What about those lizard creatures, man? What the fuck are you talking about?
Obama and Hillary Clinton are fucking lizards. Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah. That's your boy though, Bush. That's your boy.
Oh man. Look, I like Joe Rogan podcast. I listen to it from time to time, but that nigga, nah. You don't know what that nigga's thinking. That nigga's
subscribed. That nigga paying for a whole subscription. Now he's switching up on the nigga. Come on, bro. Look at Bush.
Which is free. What the fuck you talking about? Paying for a subscription? What?
Is forced to wrestle with women, with young girls. In fact, all jacked, jacked like a boy. It's like a boy wrestling girls. It's crazy.
Probably pop a boner doing that.
I don't think she has one yet.
Oh my
God.
Okay.
God.
The look on his face, like he didn't even miss a step, bro. He didn't even say what. He was just
I can't co-sign
she does
that.
that yet. Like this is how that nigga mind works.
I can't co-sign that. I'm sorry. I tried.
Bush, where you at with it, dog?
Look, man, I already told y'all what it was from the beginning, dog, before I played the video. So you know. They'll get into the mocking and jokes and shit. Gonna be little with. I mean, the louder with crowded video worse, but this is light compared to that.
Is taking testosterone to become a boy.
Yes.
And then now is forced to wrestle with women.
Yes.
With young girls.
Yeah.
In fact, all jacked.
Right.
Jacked like a boy. It's like a boy wrestling girls.
And then that's when he brought up the boner shit. They have hidden intentions, like the whole bathroom thing. We let them in our bathrooms, they gonna rape our women. It's that whole thing, right? So,
I'm not gonna lie though, them gender neutral bathrooms are fire, bro. I love them shits.
Them shits clean as fuck.
Facts.
I'll be taking a shit without worrying
I
about
don't think we got one down here. I think it's because I'm in Alabama. I haven't seen one of those. Yo.
God damn.
Bless you, bitch. I mean,
shit.
Bitch.
Yeah, I don't think I can't remember the last time. Yeah, that I went into a gender neutral bathroom. I'm trying to think. That's interesting. But yeah,
it's crazy.
Probably pop a boner doing that.
I don't think she has one yet.
Oh.
You can get a little thumb. You grow a thumb.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Oh yeah, the clitoris gets a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And do the ovaries sort of like start getting suspended in a?
I don't know.
Do they drop?
What do they do?
I wonder.
I wonder if they remove those parts. You know, because they do hysterectomies on women when they have disease. I wonder if they do that when a man transitions from a woman.
Yeah. When a man transitions from a woman.
Yeah, when you used to be a woman and now
you're going
a
to a dude.
Yeah. What do they do? I just can't wait to the day where they can do it genetically, where a woman really becomes a woman. Like a man becomes a woman or a woman becomes a man. But guess what? Even if they do, here's the issue. If you knew that a woman took steroids for 30 years and developed insane tendon strength and muscle strength and then stopped doing steroids, it is a scientific fact that you are going to keep a very big percentage of those gains. What are the gains? What is the percentage? Is it 30% or 40%? Whatever the fuck it is. Whatever percentage that you would keep after you get off the steroids, that is significant. And even if you're not currently on these performance-enhancing drugs, your body has been artificially boosted to this superior level through these drugs.
Yeah. And you lose a lot of the feminine. You know.
These niggas acting like men are fucking superheroes, bro. Like,
I mean, in comparison, physically, in comparison.
I mean,
Like,
bro, I know some women that could beat my ass.
Of course,
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
outliers.
was
Of
trying
course,
to tell
there's
him,
outliers to
so-
every situation.
I mean, again, like
Oh, that nigga
Bro,
Epic in the yo.
Oh no, Epic! Hey, Epic, come through, man.
Yeah,
nah, bro, we don't need Epic for this one, bro. I'm really not. No offense, Epic. I'll see you next time, dog. Not this one.
We about to get off of this anyway.
Well, wait,
Yeah.
Marcel was,
fucking monkeys and shit.
I gotta finish this.
Yo.
I gotta finish this exam anyway, man.
Oh shit. Yo, what up, Epic, man? Speaking, he shall come. But yeah, what did you say, Marcel? What we at?
Oh, what was I saying?
Nigga, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It's a good thing you interrupted that nigga.
Why are they speaking about men like we're fucking superheroes and shit? Like we're superhuman. I mean, compared to a woman, men aren't. We're stronger. I mean, genetically or whatever. But if a woman trains, like she can have better technique and beat someone heavy in her class.
The only thing is with that logic, that's kind of an outlier situation as well. They're talking about a base level of men and women.
Yeah, but we're
It's on a
talking about
genetic
professional competition.
Yeah,
you
and
have to keep that in mind. All these examples are professionals.
Yeah, and I understand
the average
that.
professional shits on the average man.
Yeah, but I'm saying but the professional woman doing weightlifting versus a professional man doing weightlifting, of course, the dude is going to be weightlifting more.
Yeah,
so
but what does it mean? Like, you realize how few professionals there are? Like,
but we're saying,
I mean, the high school
we're
stuff
talking
is high
about
school,
it,
so it's a bit.
but we're just basing it on professionals, nonetheless. Nonetheless, on a base level, a man is just physically more capable than a woman, and that's not a knock against them. These are facts. These aren't something that we're
That's facts, but like I don't know. I feel like not enough weight is being given to the fact that both of these people, like, it's not just men these are athletes transitioning and then competing in the sport that they have been training in.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's on a different. A man. Can we both agree that a WNBA and NBA are standard of athleticism when they come together? Can we agree on that?
Of course not.
That they're not different?
No, they're different. My bad. I thought you kind of cut out, so I assumed. But yeah, they're definitely like the NBA shits on the W.
And they're both professional athletes in their own right. They train to the best of their abilities to the position that they are. But the difference is that a man, in terms of physical capabilities, can get to a higher length. That's why we see more often. Like, if I'm using WNBA as an example, we see more dunks. We see things like that. We see high acrobatics, stuff to that extent. So there is a valid argument to be said that even if they are professionals on a base level, professional men's sport and professional women's sports are just going to be completely
that's the
two
point,
different
though.
leagues.
They're not at a base level. You know what I'm saying? Like, average people are here. I mean, there's below average, there's average, then there's professionals. Even if there's a degree of a brand of professionals that are better than the other brand professionals, they are in an echelon that we can't even, like, you know what I'm saying, like, that we're not even ready to enter.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you on that. I
and the way Joe is talking about it, he's just making it seem like it's just,
okay.
Oh yeah, man. Any
okay,
dude can just transfer
Joe
over
is Joe, nigga. Like, I'm gonna let that.
Yo.
I'm not co-signing none of that nigga saying, but on a base level of what Joe is saying is, professional are both professionals are just different levels. Like,
factual.
In terms of athleticism, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody understands that, but like Truth was saying that he makes, like, I've seen dudes that are like super scrawny that are like weak as fuck, man. So don't act like every man can just compete.
That's why I said after.
That's why I said after. Not even taking strength into consideration is also skill and technique. Like, of course, a weight competition, there's still skill involved, but it's not as drastic. But especially something like sports, there's really a lot of room for technique and skill that you can, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can only really take advantage of that greater strength if you know how to apply it.
Well, I'm not just talking about greater strength. I'm talking about athleticism
Or greatest strength, speed, power, whatever, all of
Yeah,
the little raw attributes.
so there's
And then you
obviously
take
if
advantage of
that's
those by being able to apply it. Like you
yeah,
can
no,
run as
but I'm
fast as
saying
you
if
want,
on
but
an
if you ain't
average,
got
if that's the case, then there is going to be a difference between those two professional groups. That's
like
what I'm saying.
there's like okay, if, even take so example, there are plenty of people that are faster and stronger than the women in the WNBA that are going to get shit on because they don't know how to play basketball. You feel
Okay.
me? So it has to be a basketball player with better attributes, not just anybody with better attributes. You have to have the skills to compete in the sport. That is something that's a big qualifier because again, professionals are like a niche. You know
Oh
what
yeah,
I'm
I'm not
saying?
saying
Like,
that any nigga can just transition side of the sport in itself. But if somebody that I'm assuming, not assuming, do we have any information about the weightlifter? Like, were they weightlifting before? I'm assuming they have to have weightlifting before they actually transition. Was that the case?
well,
Did
yeah,
they,
what was the world record rate? Because that's probably still some.
because that affects it. Because that's what I was talking about. That's what he was kind of pointing out earlier without being kind of an asshole about it. But when he was talking about they've been training for years as this man with a certain testosterone level, with certain capabilities and certain physical capabilities, that once they transitions, there's still going to be a big chunk of that athleticism and that strength inside of them, even when transitioning. So even we get that it takes an extreme athlete to even get to the level that they are, no matter what. That's correct. But I'm saying, but we also established that since they are on planes, of course, it's going to be disadvantageous to
Yeah,
usually the woman.
they can't hold up, to be
Nah,
honest. And that gotta be a weird thing to feel. I think even
that
and it
feels
reflects
demoralizing.
itself in various ways. I think
Mm-hmm.
the women's hockey league went on strike or something, or they're going on strike, like the top 200 players because of their conditions. Like they get like 2,000 a season, some of them, while the NHL is getting NHL money, of course.
Yeah,
I
because
think there's definitely reasons for it, but to be a
that
professional,
feels. Mhm,
like
go ahead.
so the last point is just to be a professional and to see other professionals in your same sport
Mm-hmm.
get all that, and you're playing to the best of your abilities in this league that just doesn't seem to want you. It gotta be crazy. Got to be a crazy thing to experience.
And I understand, but at the same time, you got to look. Not the you're absolutely correct, but at the same time, I'm thinking of more woman's perspective, a woman that was born biological. Like Joe gave the example, training all their lives to get to a certain level, to get to a certain state. Because remember, there's multiple women that were doing that weightlifting since birth. Like that's an extreme sport since birth, and then for a man,
I mean,
not a man.
hey, let me cut you out right quick, Stone. My bad. Death
Go
Racer
ahead.
said, bro, this argument is messy. Why are y'all bringing it out of the realm of sports? Joe never mentioned regular guys versus a female athlete. They're both pros. Okay.
That's what we.
I mean, because to Joe, these aren't females going against each other. This is a man and a female.
That's what I was establishing, Roy Northside. That's what I was saying. These are two professionals. Get your dick out your ass. Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, I completely disagree with I don't disagree with y'all points, but I don't agree with letting a transgender woman compete in these sports, because you do get shit like this that people that do these late transitions and they are biologically still a man all the way. They didn't take they didn't decrease the hormones or whatever the fuck. It don't make sense. Like that one transgender woman that broke that chick skull. Like we can't be having shit like that. Like that has to be.
I think the problem is like the way we refer to gender and first of all, like sex was gender. We haven't really distinguished those beforehand. But now that we're starting to draw that line of hey, gender is kind of what I'm saying, like what it means to be a man is just tied into that one gender when it doesn't need to be. Like your personality doesn't have to be defined by your gender or whatever. So as we start to separate that, though, shit is getting kind of fucked up because people are trying to disassociate them, and there's good reasons for some of those connections, such as that strength shit. Like that's not just the meme, bro. Like,
But hold on, True. Yo, Mr. Anime Tales just sunned you in the comments.
Man, he said Bush stars leaning to the right without his puppet master. Like if you watch that video on the transgender MMA fighter, I said the same shit when Mo was there. What the fuck are you talking about, nigga? Are you a fan, really, nigga?
Anyway,
you watch
Mr.
those
Anime
previous
Tells,
videos?
what's Mr. Can someone ask Mr. Anime Tells how he feels? We could maybe have something constructive going on with that. But I mean, we're all independent
Yeah,
people
I think we
with our
kind
own
of.
opinion.
I feel like we kind of beat this one to death. Like,
That nigga, Mr. Anime Tells is a dumpster fire, man. Fuck that nigga.
Fair enough.
That nigga's opinion is not relevant. His trailers are terrible. Fuck that nigga,
Bush
man.
doesn't mean that. Mr. Anime Tells, we fuck with you.
Yo, Epic, you gotta chill in the comment section, dog. What the fuck wrong with you?
What Epic saying?
Nah, don't read that shit.
Never mind.
Oh shit. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Any I think we done. I don't think we have any more discussions about this.
Mr. Anime Tells last Bush has no respect for intellectual superior. But yeah, other than that, yeah.
What? Look, Mr. Anime Tells, you can hop in here and I can crush your back, nigga. Pause. I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know why I said pause at that. That just sounded.
Gay. When you say pause, you make shit gay.
That's factual.
I'm gonna beat the shit out you, Mr. Anime Tail. I'm gonna fuck the shit out you, Mr.
Pause.
I heard that wasn't pause. That was gay.
Yeah.
I'm about to kill you, Mr. Anime. Man, you can make anything sound. Yeah. Anyway,
you literally said that I'm gonna fuck you, like. You ain't sounding gay.
And I meant every word, Mr. Anime Tales. See you in the chat, nigga. Discord. And that is the podcast, guys. We'll see you whenever. Bye.
Come to the Discord, get threatened in person.
Get threatened in person. Get these actual rape threats, man.